tilted lawyer in velvet gown, whispers of law beneath the moon's sweet glow. He's here to guide you through the undertow, from tales of love lost and battles won, to secrets that hide when the day is done. He'll paint the night with stories so stark. Welcome to Family Law After Dark. Light up that cigar and pour a glass of red, as we wade through matters not often said, where hearts and minds often leave a mark. Dive deep into family law after dark. The lawyer's voice smooth like leather, he sings lies only he can tether. In the sultry jazz lounge, let the wisdom flow. Feel the rhythm in the late night glow. Through custody tangles and alimony strife, he navigates the drama of everyday life. With a wry wink and a cheeky remark, let's unravel family law after dark. Light up that cigar and pour a glass of red, as we wade through matters not often said, where hearts and minds often leave a mark. Dive deep into family law after dark. Light up that cigar and pour a glass of red, as we wade through matters not often said, where hearts and minds often leave a mark. Dive deep into family law after dark.
Damn it. Happy Friday, everybody. It's good to see you all on another edition of Family Law After Dark. Omar Serrato of the Tilted Lawyer podcast. I divorce people for a living, and I'm here on the show to give out people marital advice based on my vast experience with the subject. Look, man.
Someone has to do it.
Mm-hmm.
That's true.
Someone's got to do it. It seems to be like the new thing now that divorce attorneys are giving legal advice. I figure I'd throw my name into the fray in terms of that. But I got to tell you, divorce attorneys, family law attorneys, we're like bartenders, man. We hear and we see it all. We see everything. We're like the sage patrons of the matriarch. What does that even mean? I don't know. I'm already angering Bruce. I really love it when I irritate Bruce. He makes these faces.
What is going on?
Yeah.
I don't know. And we got Brad here. Brad, who so heroically was able to finish the show with myself and Schnitzel last week because Bruce had a prior engagement. And then he leaves a comment like, "Hey, Brad, I'm sorry I left you alone there, buddy."
I know.
Bump it up.
I only have an
Yeah,
hour
but-
today, too.
Oh man.
No.
And he's got another gaming appointment. I guess
We
we
got to get this started.
Yeah. What's up, Winks and shit? Sarah Dawn and Leanne Burkmeyer. Leanne Burkmeyer is here. Let's let us get started. So our first case is a guy that is going with he's on one. He doesn't know how to start. Is it on my screen? Yeah. Let me embiggen. There we go. All right. So this guy, what's up, Schnitz? I don't think I introduced you. I introduced Bruce and Brad.
That's
And
fine.
Schnitz is over here like chopped liver. It's like,
Vegan chopped liver.
well, I don't know. Have y'all ever had chopped liver?
I don't know if schnitzel's
No.
made out of liver.
It is not.
Mm-mm.
I thought it
Pork.
was like a fried hot dog, a fried pork rind or something.
No,
Pork
Fried
rind.
hot dog.
Ew.
I mean, hot dogs are made of pork. I mean, it could
I
be.
gotta go
Kind
deep
of.
fry some hot dogs right now. I'll be right back, guys.
That means. Obviously, he's talking in code.
That's for later.
Only one way to find out.
I'll fry your hot dog, Bruce.
but
Ow.
no,
Don't
Spencer's
threaten me
like
with a good time.
It's like pounded out pork or chicken. And
Why do you got to use the language "pounded out," Brad?
Pound it out.
because you have to beat the snot out of it.
Oh, that's what we're gonna
Brad,
do.
you
The
know
hot
what you
dogs.
did.
Oh
And
my.
breaded.
Ooh.
Breaded
The
for
lemon
Crispy.
wedge.
Mm.
Breaded and fried.
the
Lemony.
discerning connoisseur. Right. This person is 40 years old. He's at a crossroads in life. Been married for 8 years. Got a couple of kids, an 8-year-old and a 5-year-old. He declares himself a smart, hard-working guy. And people tell me, and I think I'm a good dad. However, I'm miserable in my marriage. I want to start looking at divorce proceedings. What do you think about people that classify themselves as smart? I'm a smart guy.
I was just thinking about that, and I was thinking, like, I feel like people who are smart don't need to say that they're smart.
Well, people that are smart tend to know that they don't know shit.
Right,
And so they
exactly.
just shut up about
There's
it.
so much they don't know. Exactly.
There's a couple of ways of thinking it because the smartest guy is the one who knows that he's not the smartest guy and surrounds himself with other smart guys and the
Mhm.
things that he doesn't know. So there's a whole lot of
That would, by definition, make him not the smartest guy, though.
right.
So,
But
how
is
about
he smart because he knows to build the team around him to fill the areas that he doesn't have?
Right.
Bro, it's that thing. Like when
It's
you're
a
not the
classic
smartest
management
guy in the
like
courtroom.
Obama.
Yeah.
Obama is very smart, and I think he had a great team around him.
I think we're overthinking it. Maybe by smart, this guy just means he's not eating Elmer's glue or something.
Yeah,
Like,
maybe
maybe
let's
it's
talk
just
shit
like
about this
You could
guy.
just say he's not a Marine. I mean,
I didn't hear him say he's not a Marine. Anyway, what the
but
fuck?
no,
Are we doing?
adding of
Well,
smart
great start, folks.
adding smart to this, it's like, okay, that's great, but it's not needed for talking about a divorce proceeding.
Yeah, I represent smart folks. I represent dumb folks, and I represent them the same.
yeah, unnecessary.
You just charge
preamble.
one of them a little more.
No, I mean I should though, huh? I mean, I guess that would be a thing to do. All I know is when you're in the courtroom and you know that you're not the smartest person in there, then you need to shut the fuck up. Say as little as possible.
Yeah.
And when you know you have a winning case, maybe you should quiet yourself even more, because lest you talk yourself out of a victory.
That's
Anyway,
right.
let us. My microphone is all screwed up. You know what happened to my Rodecaster?
What happened?
You have to
Bruce,
reboot.
Brad, y'all use a Rodecaster?
I do not. I'm not.
No.
I don't make enough money to afford a Rodecaster.
I mean, it's not like it's not that expensive.
You're like
I'm using
$600.
I'm using an audio interface made for musicians.
Why am I thinking 400? I own 2 of them. How do I think? You're right. They're like $700.
The big ones, yeah.
That makes me all the more depressed because my daughter spilled water all over mine yesterday. So I was about to go into a podcast, and I'm praying that it dries out enough where it didn't short circuit the entire thing, and I could salvage it. Otherwise, I guess I'm down to 1. Anyway, oh, what are you gonna do with a 5-year-old? She's 4. She's gonna be 5 in a few months.
It's like I tell my husband, like, you just have to expect that things are going to get destroyed and damaged and broken.
Well, you can't throw them over the wall, so you might as well just.
Well, I mean, you can.
It's highly discouraged.
You're gonna throw your small children over a wall?
Just
I
saying.
got a
you
large
would.
wall in my backyard, and I've always threatened, you know what? If you keep on doing that, I'm throwing you right over the wall. Like, Dad, you're such a kidder.
Until
Okay.
the one day I don't.
Or like Evelyn yesterday. Evelyn was like, blow it out your ass, chode. I was like, the fuck?
What?
Damn. And she's 5?
Oh, 4.
What the heck? 4?
Oh, she is a.
I guess build the wall and make the 4-year-old pay for it. I guess that's how it works. I don't know.
My son is just saying butt, booty, and penis a lot.
Oh,
But I like
boy.
yours is so much better.
Well, it is Friday night.
All right.
I'm
I
not there
feel
yet.
like
Just
I feel like this guy is drowning himself in a
I'll
barrel of
teach you those
whiskey.
words later, Brad.
Yeah, they're on the spread.
I just spit some bourbon out onto my keyboard when you said that.
Oh, I know all the dirty English words. How about that? Presumably. By the way, what are you guys lubricating with? I'm finishing off my large bottle of Woodford.
I got Woodford.
I got
Really?
Bush Light.
Bush Light, and Bruce is going with
I just
grass
have
wheat,
No,
wheatgrass.
I just have like LaCroix with orange juice in it.
Hint of water with some
Somebody's got to be the chaperone to this train wreck. We're
Water with a hint of water.
Yeah.
water with a hint of boring.
Oh.
Water with a hint of
It's
menopause.
fizzy and it has orange
What's
juice.
the male equivalent to menopause?
Manopause.
Manopause. I feel like I've been going through menopause since I was 25.
or it's just midlife crisis.
What are the symptoms?
25. What?
I've always been an old soul, and I'm even older soul at 44. Anyway, I feel like I feel a pity party coming on for this this
Or like
guy.
old bones.
Hear it.
Yeah. Okay. So I am the primary. Could I do voices, Bruce?
No.
All right.
Bitch is running wild, man.
Totally.
Denied. Sit down.
Who the fuck are you to put me on trial? I've never even met you. So why don't you back the shit off, all right? And stop with the Inquisition.
All right, Bruce. All
That's
right.
not David Spade, is it?
Got
Who
it.
is that?
No,
That's
no.
Michael Scott.
Oh, Michael Scott. Okay.
It is Michael Scott. Of course it is.
Sounds like something David Spade would say.
Oh,
You should get Woodnick just saying tight.
it wouldn't. Is that a meme? Wouldn't it saying tight?
Well, this will get awkward.
At the trial.
All right, man. Moving on. So, I feel better already. See, I can't do a heavy podcast before coming on a flat. It puts me in a mood. Right, I'm better now. I am the primary breadwinner, and every dime I make goes towards the household. Aren't you just a saint? Saint. Name a saint? Saint Beneventure over there. Is that a saint or an alcohol? I provide all the health insurance and benefits as well. Any extra I earn doing side jobs on or working overtime goes to catch up on something else. I've sold my truck as I got a work truck that my boss let me drive on weekends to save money. It still isn't enough. She started a small at-home business. When we first had kids selling at farmers markets, but hasn't worked steady since the holidays and doesn't have anything lined up until May. Even in full swing, it is barely minimum wage, take home, and no contributions to health, retirement, SS, or Medicare. Medicare is completely wiped out now. Just so you know, is it? Isn't that Brad? Isn't that what Trump did? He wiped out Medicare.
No.
All right, never mind. just asking. I read that somewhere.
I don't know how, but
He defunded it somehow by $750 million.
We're working on it.
Yeah.
It's
I'm
cool.
building a catapult outside. I'm going to shoot myself to Canada.
Oh, well, okay. So she won't get a job right now. So she says, "What do y'all think about stay-at-home moms and the men that support them?"
okay.
I often hear them go into this diatribe about the bills and everything else and everything.
Why is it viewed as the men supporting them? Why is it not viewed as the woman supporting the family by taking care of the family?
That's all. I was just about to go on to that point.
Sorry, I had to say something.
Because I feel like men look at things from a logical, financial. I don't even have to throw in logical. They look at it from a financial perspective, failing to see that by virtue of their wife staying home and allowing them to work full time, it's equally contributing. Because look, she can go to work, fine, throw the kids in daycare, get a nanny. That's going to cost another $2,500, $3,000 a month. That's more than she could make on minimum wage. Exactly. So maybe that's why she stays home.
It's an economic calculation, and it's up to the adults to determine what calculations make sense for the household.
And yeah, if you can pull it off financially, it's also like if financials are fine, it's also about that connection between the mom and the child or a family member and the child. If you want to actually raise your kid,
Yeah.
or if you want to work, if you're in that position, like where you can afford to not work and be a stay-at-home mom or a stay-at-home dad, it's about more than just the financials of it.
Schnitzel, are you a Dr. Laura person?
What?
Okay, so Dr. Laura was this person in like the 90s, 2000s. She was this famous, I don't know if she was a therapist or a psychologist or a psychiatrist or something, but she often said that, look, if you have kids, then mom is going to stay home. You're not going to let somebody else raise your kids. And she was like very strict about it. And then she's like, so I'm just not supposed to work? What if I like my career? Fuck your career. You have a child, they need you. And you decided to open your legs and have a kid, now you're going to stay home and raise them. And she was very strict about that. She had this very fundamentally conservative view about the entire thing.
Mm.
Now, look, I don't know where you stand on that side of the equation. I just know that the job of stay-at-home mom sucks, man. It's gosh.
It's draining, it's exhausting.
If you've
It's
ever lived in the midst of a little human that has things that they want to tell you about every 3 seconds. There's a conversation I had with my daughter today, Evelyn or Olivia, on the way to school. She's like, hey, Dad, do you know about sprunkies? Sprunkies are not, they look like they're naked, but they're not really naked. And then they go over this thing and they're trying to trick you because they're trying to get at the moose, but they're not really, they're doing the thing.
Oh, we have to protect the moose.
And I'm like, what? So what he says, like, totally. It's like, yeah, exactly. But Dad, what do you think about it? It's like, I think that's great. But what about it is great? Well, I think that Sprunkies not being naked is a good thing. But they're just trying because they're trying to be real ninjas. She says ninjas with an M.
What is happening
Dad,
right
should
now?
I be a real ninja? It's like if you really try hard and you train, you could maybe one day be a real ninja. Do you really think so? Yeah, I think so. But I don't know. I'm kind of weird because I feel like I'm kind of short and I wear glasses and stuff. It's like, oh, don't worry about none of that. There's some ninjas that are blind. Really? Yeah. No, I preface that to I'm trying to impress on you that conversation extends the entirety of the time that they're awake. The entire time. It doesn't stop. It doesn't stop. It's like this it's full on just cacophony of sound coming your way and just this gibberish. And you're trying to like make it sound like you're paying attention to your kid, like you know what they're talking about, and you have no fucking idea what they're talking about.
Well, the moose are in danger, so we have to. It's very important.
There's a moose, and there's not people that are really naked, and sprunkies are trying to trick you, and you should believe in Jesus because the sprunkies say,
oh boy.
Oh, and then there's Evelyn. Blow out your ass, chode.
Here's the problem with this post. This guy's complaining about this stuff, but they've been married 8 years. What exactly were they planning on doing? Were they planning on having 2 full-time jobs? Were they planning on her staying at home? Like, why is this coming up now?
Well, it's the reality of marriage. Nobody plans for the 8 years from now,
Yeah, but these aren't new things.
Married for 8 years, they had a kid who's 8 years old. So I'd imagine
they had 2 kids for 5 years. What's been going on? Like, why is he suddenly like complaining about
I'll explain, Bruce. Let me explain it this way. Yeah. Here's what's happened. It's been 5 years. It's been 5 years of monotony, and he feels unappreciated, and he feels like she's not contributing. And even as illogical as those thoughts may be, or may or may not be, I don't know, maybe they're true. But he feels this way, and it's just festering. It's festering. And the marriage is no longer about, oh, we're going to go out this and we're going to do this, and we're going to have fun, and we're going to travel, and we're going to have like a creative sex life, and we're going to do all of these things. It's no longer about those. It's about keeping these little shits alive.
Do you think he's not writing his posts that way because he doesn't have the clarity or the introspection to write it that way?
Well, I think oftentimes people feel these things, and there's a reason why people go to therapy. You know, they're trying to determine, they're trying to figure out the roots of why they feel certain things.
Mm.
But from what I could decipher, I get a lot of clients like this, you know, and it always starts like this. They're all, look, there's the honeymoon phase, and for the first year or two, you guys are cool because it's just you two. And then you bring children into the equation, and it's no longer about you two. You guys got to keep this little baby alive, and you got to raise it, and it sucks, and it's draining. And you expend a lot of energy doing those things to the point where you no longer have energy for your partner.
Mm.
It takes a toll on the relationship. You could deal with it. You could even rationalize it. You could even logically understand it for like a year, for 2 years, for 4 years. But as it continues to build, and you get farther and disillusioned with your marriage, now you start becoming accusatory and resentful of your partner. And it leads to this guy asking, how do I even start? These are things that he hasn't communicated with her, probably, that he hasn't had the ability to have his side of the equation heard by anybody that cared to listen, a family member, a friend, a therapist, or if you will. And now it's manifesting in a post on Reddit where it's like, you know, and they're saying all of this stuff. And I don't even know what he's saying because we haven't even finished through like the first 2 paragraphs of what he's trying to say. So let me continue. She won't get a job right now, as she says she needs the time to work on her business for the upcoming season. It's been 2 months while she hasn't done anything. We got our tax returns. I'm just watching them dwindle away. You know, when you're depending on your tax returns to do anything, that is a family that is barely making it. They're probably paycheck to paycheck. They probably have little in the mode of investments. And if you're depending on your tax returns to do anything, then you're in a certain mindset that lends itself. I apologize for my voice in advance. It's kind of going since like last night, so I'm just going to do my best. I apologize if I sound like a frog. But he's watching his tax returns dwindle away. I also need to do some repairs around the house that we've been putting off, and it's going to eat that up. I have a feeling when this all goes down, I might be in for a rocky road as she has nothing to fall back on.
It's going to be even worse when he files for divorce, because then he's going to have to pay for an attorney. He may have to pay for her attorney. And then.
Oh, he's not going to pay for an attorney. He doesn't have the ability to pay. But he's going to give her half of everything, and he's probably going to be on the hook for child support, and he's going to be on the hook for alimony because it's an 8-year marriage, which encumbers him to at least 4 years of alimony payments that he's not going to want to pay.
Also, this sounds like a dumb reason to get divorced just over money. Like, just fucking talk about it. Share your stresses and your concerns. And then if she's like, well, fuck that, I'm still going to be a stay-at-home mom, I'm not going to help you make any money, maybe like that's going to have to delve deeper. But, you know, like,
more relevant reason to get divorced, finances or infidelity?
I think infidelity.
Yeah, infidelity.
Because it's a break of trust.
Finances is something that you bring to the table. You can both cause income and cause deficits in your household financial situation. And 9 times out of 10, it's not an income problem, it's a spending problem. If I've learned anything from watching Caleb Hammer's financial audit, it's our financial situation is because of what we spent with our money and getting into debt, thinking we're using money like it's income. And by doing so, we destroy our financial bedrock. And then we get to a point where we feel like we're dangling off of a cliff.
Well, let me tell you what happens. What happens is you get these couples and they're worried about money and they get themselves in the debt. They get themselves into financial peril. And then the wife, who is not, it could be the husband who's the stay-at-home husband, but the person that's not responsible for the finances says, you know what? We need to build family memories and we need to go on vacations. Let's go on this Disney cruise that costs $18,000 for our entire family because it's going to be so
experience.
Those things are true. Those things are true. But the stress that it puts on the breadwinner is enormous.
Sure.
And because they don't talk about it and because they don't work out their budget together. She has no idea why he's so stressed out, and he has no idea how to talk to her because he doesn't want to tell her that, oh, we can't go on the Disney cruise because we don't have $18,000 to blow on a vacation. And that is a sobering realization that a lot of married folks have to come to grips with. And it sucks. It sucks for the man. It sucks for the woman.
I think there's a bigger fundamental problem here. So he's talking about all these financial issues. Why does he think getting divorced is going to solve those issues?
Well, because nobody thinks about, believe it or not, most people are not
They still
aware.
have kids, right? He's still going to have to pay child support. He's going to have to pay alimony, even if he gets married to somebody else who has a job.
People don't think that way, though.
He's going to be having to spend money on his new family plus his old family. He's going to be worse off potentially financially.
Let me give an example.
Why is divorce the answer to his financial problem? Why is creating a new financial problem the solution to an old financial problem?
Because he's probably of the opinion, yeah, I'll pay child support. What's it going to be, like a couple $100 a month? No.
He
It's
thinks
going to
he's
be
getting
like
rid of the problem.
$2,000 a month. He's like, what?
That's
Why?
what I'm saying. He's delusional in thinking that he's going to solve this problem. He's just going to create a new problem.
He just doesn't know. He just doesn't know. But when he talks to a guy like me, he's like, I'll run the numbers. How much
At the start, he said he was smart.
I prefaced it with like, so what do you think about people that classify themselves as smarts? And so when I run the numbers for him and he realizes he's going to pay $2,000 in support spread between alimony and child support, he's like, what the fuck, dude? Like, yeah, dude, it's the law. I don't know what to tell you. But that's not fair. I can't help you. It might not be fair, but it's the law.
Go join a men's raid organization, and maybe in 15 years it might be a little bit lower, but you got to deal with the shit you're in now.
And then he's like, well, I want 50-50 custody. How are you going to do that? You work 60 hours a week, dipshit. Well, then I'll get babysitters. Then is okay, well, mom is like readily available. And that's how men end up. Look, the reason why men end up as every other weekend parents, it's not because the law says that that's the way it's supposed to be. It's just because traditionally, most of the time, men are the breadwinner. They're the ones that are working full time while the women are staying at home. And when you have that kind of a schedule, oh, who's the primary parent? Well, it's going to be the mom. She's the one that spends the most time with the children. And you're the one that is out there working all these hours and providing. Great. And you're going to continue to do that. And you're going to get a chance to see your children every other weekend and maybe a midweek visit. That's how we end up with these parenting schedules. Because the truth is that the law says that you're supposed to have, the default is supposed to be a 50-50 arrangement. Mm-hmm. The problem is geography oftentimes doesn't lend itself to that. Work schedules don't lend itself to that. Okay, she could work full time at minimum wage because she sacrificed her career for you, stay-at-home person, forsake a degree in whatever professional career she was pursuing. Now she has no earning capacity. If she were to get a job full-time, she's going to make maybe $20 an hour. That's going to maybe entitle her to $3,200 a month. And while you're making $10,000 a month, that means you're going to be paying her support in the amount of about $2,500 a month because that's what the law says you're supposed to do. And you're going to say that's not fair. I agree, but that's the law. I can't help you, sir. There is no exception.
That's the other thing too, like you mentioned, like a lot of women have a bachelor's degree, a master's degree, maybe more. And
from 2002, but it's 2025 and it's no longer relevant. Where are they going to get a job now?
Well, I'm saying, like, in certain fields of work, it doesn't matter necessarily when you got them. It's that you can still get jobs that are at that level. And as a mom, you could give up your career or really pursuing your career to let the husband follow his dreams, or because he has more guaranteed money than you're going to have, then you make the decision for him to work instead of you to work, and you stay home. Does it sound like I'm speaking from personal experience? Then
no, why would you do that?
Then, like, I have a master's degree.
Yeah.
And
you do?
I do. And I have a job. that it doesn't matter when I got my degree.
Yeah.
It's the time that's been put in over all of these years that I've
Sure.
been like utilizing it. But my pregnancy was very unplanned. I had an IUD when I got pregnant, and it was 2 months into a relationship with my husband.
Miracle baby.
Oh yeah, I guess you could call it that.
That's one way
Yeah,
to look
I
at
mean,
it. The
obviously,
other way to look at it is what the fuck.
well, at the time, I thought I had leukemia. I was like, I'm not pregnant. There's no way I'm pregnant. I have an IUD. It's obviously cancer.
My God.
I looked up the symptoms online, of course, and that's always what you think it is, right?
Yeah.
So anyway, then I found out I was pregnant.
I've diagnosed myself with cancer many, many times.
I feel like we've all been
you weren't
there.
taking pregnancy tests 4 days later and writing up dating contracts 11 days later? I mean, what
I
the
might
heck?
have experimentally
Should've been
taken a pregnancy test.
What
I
were your
have.
results? Negative.
By the way, I do have a story about pee
Oh boy.
Oh,
that I will relay if we get 10 super chats.
Oh man.
Last week we got the story about the micro penis and the micro badge. This week we will get a pee story.
I don't
I
think I
shouldn't
have
have said
a
the subject.
story.
We will get
Better
an
be after I leave.
embarrassing story. Yeah, well, Bruce is he's gonna.
I'm gonna flee.
Hey, Brad,
into
I'm gonna
her.
say a prayer as I leave and leave you to these two degenerates. It's like what the fuck, Bruce?
Accurate. This guy, I mean, he doesn't have a lawyer. He doesn't know how to get a lawyer. He doesn't know how to get the money for a lawyer. This guy is not, I feel like this guy is in trouble.
Well, he's at a crossroads. You know, a lot of people come to a crossroads, and he's not in trouble. He's not in trouble, and he's not in any more trouble than you or I. He's just at a point where he's exacerbated by his lot in life, and it sucks.
Okay, well, that's different than you and I,
He
presumably.
is different. He's different, but very similar.
What?
But very similar. Well, I'll tell you what. Let me continue. How far did we get through this?
Not
Are we
very
really only 3 paragraphs deep?
yep.
That's what she said. Or he. All right.
My.
What was that? What was that for, Brad?
Oh my.
I said, well, we're only 3 paragraphs deep, and he breaks out the bear right. Oh my!
The bush light is kicking in.
Yeah, it is.
My fight or flight. I think I don't know. Okay, so she's not good at business. We get it. So I have not let on to her that this is the direction I want to go. Oh, he did talk about she's not good at business. End of the business, and I have been trying to help her with bookkeeping, peanut with profit and loss, and to expand the business and make something profitable out of it. But she won't even sit down and go over the finances with me. Mostly brushes off my ideas. I don't know.
Here's the thing.
They need an accountant, not a divorce attorney.
Well, here's the thing. Their financial situation is probably terrible because they don't have the habit of talking about finances for the house, and they won't even talk about finances for this small business that they're trying to run. So there's already a breakdown in communication here.
Did they mention what the business is, or are they just?
It sounds like they're making food for the farmers market.
Hey, Brad. What would you think about somebody that wanted to work for you as an IT person that has a bachelor's degree in IT from 2002?
What's the relevant experience?
They have a degree.
Well, then fuck off. I don't care. Like, if you don't have, see, that's the thing is you need to have relevant experience. If you get a degree in anything from 24 years ago, then it's not relevant now.
With some degrees, though, it's the experience. It's the experience over the years that is more important than the degree itself.
What about the ability to learn? How about that?
Well, yeah, a degree is good, and I can't remember where I heard it, but someone
What
said
if he came at you like a pursuit of happiness? Like, look, I'm the kind of guy that if I don't know the answer, I'm gonna go get it. And then he just lies on that. That's his big point. What
You've
do you think?
moved on to interviewing. You're ignoring the denominator. When you open a job requisition, there's going to be different qualifications. Okay, your qualification might be I need somebody with a bachelor's degree and no experience, and that's okay.
Trying to get this
And
lady.
the bachelor's degree could be recent or it could be not recent.
Yeah, no, you're right. First of all,
On the
I
other
agree
hand,
with
you
all
could
you guys.
have, like Brad is saying, you could have a job requisition where you depend on a degree plus experience. And then when you're interviewing, you're going to be mostly talking about that experience because it's more recent.
I'm talking from personal experience here. I once interviewed for an IT position in programming.
Mm-hmm.
And I slayed the interview. Like, I was making them laugh. I was telling jokes. I had them all in my back pocket. And then, like, the final portion of the interview was, could you write an if-then statement in some programming code? I forget it was C++ or something that will do this, make this, do that. And I was like, sure. And so I took the marker. Obviously, I fucked it up. And I was like, let me tell you something. I'm the kind of guy where if I don't know the answer to something, I will go get the answer. And then they're like, yeah, I think some other people are interviewing over here for this position. I'm going to give you your number.
Here's a relevant interview. I applied for a company called Canonical, who's the primary developer of an operating system called Ubuntu. And they were looking for Linux support engineers. So I applied for this position. It was remote. And I was like, yeah, this is going to be great. They said, great. Here's this programming problem. You have 3 days to solve it. It was like 24 or 48 hours. It was quick. And I couldn't finish it through my own mental capacities. So then I had to go research it, understand what they wanted me to do. And then I told them, I said, here's the answer, but I had to go look up what it was because I didn't know what it was.
Yeah.
And then they were like, okay, thanks. Bye. And it's like,
Wow.
well, there's something about having someone to be able to do the problem off the top of the head, but it's another thing to have people to be able to go figure out what it is, understand why you get the answer that you do. But there's some people, they just want you to be able to recite things off the top of your head like this, and it doesn't work.
Yeah.
Well, they want a supervisor. They want a boss. They want somebody that knows what they're talking about. That has it. They want somebody where the music lives inside of them. They don't want them to have to like use auto tune and all of that. The music lives inside of me.
And this was before AI was here. This was just me going and looking at documentation and trying to understand the problem.
I asked my wife that. I was like, okay, so like, how hard is your job now that AI is a thing? Like, how often do you use AI for your job?
I don't.
And she like tries to, well, then AI can't do this or can't do that. Yeah, I can. And like within seconds. And she's like, fuck you. I was like, okay. Totally. But no, look, I've been around a lot of IT folks, and I know exactly what Brad is saying. I just want somebody that lives this, that like breathes it. And like, there's a difference between somebody that looks something up and somebody that just knows, like could build a computer from scratch because they just love it. Mm-hmm. And yeah, I get that. And then that's the thing. Why are we talking about this? We need to continue with this guy's rant.
I don't know. This guy, I feel like this, I don't understand. This guy wants a divorce, but he's not really explaining why. Because he hasn't explained why he thinks it's going to fix his life financially. So I think P. Mahone in the comments says this guy has something more going on than just money. I kind of agree. I just don't know what it is.
Maybe it's colon cancer.
Well, I don't. We could speculate all day, but
yeah, I mean, I don't know. Since we're throwing stuff out, speculations out, why not? So I've not led on to her that this is the direction I want to go. Yes, she knows I'm depressed. I'm unhappy. This is what it is. I'm depressed. I'm unhappy. I don't think she thinks I'm going anywhere. My youngest starts kindergarten in September, and that will save me $1,000 a month not paying for preschool. So I'm trying to hold out until then. I worry about my social worker, sister-in-law, talking her into getting a restraining order. What the fuck?
That's
the second I ask for a divorce.
No, he's speculating.
Where did I miss that this is going the direction of a restraining order?
Yeah. He thinks that the instant he drops the word divorce on his wife, that the sister-in-law is going to
domestic violence.
Yeah.
lawyer her up and all that.
I'm not a violent person. I don't yell, and I never have and never will. I'm suspicious of guys that say that kind of thing.
Mm.
I never will give her or our children a reason to fear me. This makes me nervous.
Yeah.
My sister-in-law has spoken in the past about how every woman who is getting divorced needs to get a restraining order whether they need it or not.
This is why he's being defensive.
And
Maybe
also, can I
that's
just point
true.
out he spelled weather wrong? This really smart person.
Oh,
Oh
he's
boy.
put a lot of
Yeah.
things wrong, Schnitz. So I've not been. I'm trying not to be a dick.
It's raining.
Um. All right. I would like to remain in my home. I don't know how that works. If she gets a restraining order, it means you're going to get the fuck out of the house. I want to sit down with a lawyer and start getting my ducks in a row. What I would tell him just with the restraining order stuff is if she brings a frivolous allegation of a domestic violence for the purpose of getting a restraining order, not only am I going to get her kicked out of the house, but you're going to have sole custody, legal and physical, of the children. And she may lose out on her ability to obtain any support from you whatsoever because the law penalizes those kinds of false, frivolous complaints. So you better document everything. If you really think she's going to do that, do not have any interaction with her that's not recorded. Have your phone recording somehow, whatever. I don't know. But if that really happens, there's consequences to it. I just don't think that he would say that without there being some tenor of truth to the fact that he just might be slightly violent, just enough, where restraining orders have been. I'm just suspicious. I'm suspicious.
It's either that or his sister-in-law has really colored his view of everything.
I've just never heard anybody say that before, though.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, usually false restraining order requests are pretty obvious. If she's really talking that way, then sure. Then I would just advise him. Like, he came in here and said that to me. Well, then make sure that you have cameras in your house. Surveillance, in-house cameras are pretty common. Keep them in all the livable areas, your bedroom, your living room, whatever, just everywhere but the restroom. Make sure they are always in a place where you're interacting with your wife in view of the cameras, lest she try to lodge a false domestic violence complaint against you. Don't communicate with her over the phone, only in writing and text. Document everything, the whole thing. So there's ways to guard against that. That's what I would tell him. I never know whether or not he is actually an abuser or not. So I would start with that. Just record everything. But anyway, he wants to sit down with a lawyer, start getting my ducks in a row, but it's going to cost money up front. No, consultations are usually free. Also, Google is free. How do I stash some money away for a lawyer when there is no extra money to stash away? Well, you're going to have to figure that out for yourself, Buster Brown. I don't know what to tell you,
I
man.
don't think this guy's even medium smart.
Start selling feet pics.
Look how he ends the post too.
Oh, Reddit. Thank you, brothers.
This guy. Oh,
Well,
boy.
it's a Reddit designed for men, so he's tailoring it to the people he thinks is reading it.
Divorced man. Okay.
It is from Divorced
I
Men.
figured he was just a Trump supporter.
Divorced Man addresses the unique challenges facing men during divorce.
How do I stash some money away for a lawyer? I don't know. Fucking get paid in cash, keep it under your pillow. What do you do? Well, come on, man. How old are you?
Sell your teeth, sell your organs.
Put your change in a piggy bank or something.
Sell your teeth?
Get a
Plasma.
Like I was thinking the tooth fairy, and then I was like, no, but he's an adult, and I was like, sell your organs.
He could sell his semen, his bone marrow.
No, don't sell your semen, please. No one wants
Not
that.
this guy.
No one wants that.
Well,
Maybe some other
they
guys,
like.
not this
Do you
guy.
think they genetically profile folks before they allow semen into circulation for unsuspecting women who can't? They're looking for that kind of thing.
I'd hope so.
And then the lady who receives the sample ends up finding out that she's having a child that is of different persuasion than she is.
I think it's
So
a shelf
I am,
thing. This guy might be kind of bottom shelf.
Is this a bottom shelf individual, Schnitzel?
He's got bottom
I
shelf
think
jizz.
he's a bottom feeder.
Would he be like the Bushnells of beer? Would he be
Oh,
like
boy.
the
Bush Light.
Jack Daniels of whiskey?
Disgusting. Yeah, he's what? Yeah, he's the shit that they throw out because it didn't turn out right.
Is he the tequila in the plastic bottle?
Plastic bottle jizz, yeah.
He's the worm.
Plastic bottle
Oh.
jizz. What the
Yeah,
fuck?
bottom
Dude?
shelf. You said he's going to donate his sperm. And then you asked if they DNA tested.
I
I'm like,
get
when
it
they
now,
DNA
yeah.
tested, it's going to be like that determines if you go on the top shelf or the bottom shelf.
By the way, I'm
It's a whole
about to
thing.
get snipped.
It's a whole
I'm about
bit.
I'm about to get snipped, and I'm thinking about freezing my sperm just in case I have a change of heart.
Why?
I don't know, man. Because like final is final.
My husband is getting snipped.
Really?
He's like, but I've never had a surgery before, and I'm like, fuck you. You can deal with it. You'll be fine.
I gave birth, bitch. So,
It's
Exactly.
fine. Tell him it's fine.
And I
They
had
get-
a sunny
They
side
give
up
you a
birth. and my-
Vicodin, you go to Taco Bell, everything's fine.
what the fuck does that mean? A sunny side up?
That means that instead of the baby being so usually his
Head
head was
down.
down.
was
Usually,
breech?
head down, but no.
Feet first?
So breech is feet first. But so his head was down, but instead of his front of his body facing your spine, the front of the body is facing your belly, which means his spine was rubbing on my spine for all 23
Oh.
hours of my labor. And my water broke early, which made it hurt even more. And it
That
was
like give me a shiver down my.
it was fucking terrible. It was
Yikes.
terrible. Yeah, not even an epidural took the pain away.
I thought you had to say that he came out of my vagina sideways. Bitch, you could get yourself snipped. Just a little snip.
Sideways.
Is that a thing? Does that ever happen?
I don't think that could happen.
That doesn't make sense why that would
We're gonna-
happen.
Very tiny
take-
baby.
We got to take Omar back to 7th grade health.
Look, I've had 3 kids, and 2 of them are C-sections. I saw all of them. And what I know about childbirth is that sideways is unlikely.
Yep. Yep. There are other things wrong if it comes out sideways.
Severe things wrong, I'm saying.
I set up like a GoPro for my active labor, which is just like your legs spread, like trying to push. But the way the light was shining, you can't see any of my area. You can't see anything happening. It's
Wait,
just
what?
like it's
It's like, you can't see. What are you talking about? Your
like
area?
the way the light, my vagina.
You can't
Well,
see
how-
her lady bits.
Okay.
Yeah, but it was the way the light was shining and the way the camera picked it up. That whole area is just like whited out.
Mm.
It's just hours of like you can't see.
This is in a video or something? Where is this?
Yes.
I feel like that's on purpose, though, no?
No, my husband
Oh.
just set the camera up and like that's what we got. So you couldn't see any of it.
You're saying he did like a J.J. Abrams and there's lens flares everywhere.
Just
see.
right on the badge.
Oh,
That's
I
it.
mean, that's art.
Well,
Call David Lynch.
none of
RIP.
my children passed through my wife's vagina. They were all C-sections. But Olivia was like getting choked out by her umbilical cord.
That's
yeah.
terrifying.
Is that
And
why
when they were monitoring her heart rate, and then it drops, and then like around 5:30 a.m. in the morning, they came and like flipped my wife upside down, and I was like laying on like the chairs or whatever inside the waiting room, and they're like, "We got to go right now." It's like, "Here, Dad," and they threw me like a gown and like a head thing and like something for my shoes. It's like, fuck, and I'm like all groggy. I'm trying to like wipe the sleep out of my eyes, and then we just went in there for a C-section. It was
wow.
it was wild. It was wild. And then Evelyn was the same thing, C-section. And so I don't know if it's better or worse to get the C-section or not.
It
just know it
depends.
already happened.
Like I'll say for certain professions, the C-section is a lot worse for your body and the recovery.
Redondo Beach says, and thank you for the 5. She says, I pushed for 4 hours and then I told I have the pelvis of a 13-year-old boy. What the fuck does that mean?
That means like
Oh,
very
boy.
narrow, like not birthing hips. The opposite.
Nice. Non-birthing hips.
Yeah.
By the way, Redondo's been a member for 4 months.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
If you knew how tight my pelvis was, you would realize that I'm the safest person to.
I have
This is
the
going to get off.
pelvis of an 18-year-old boy. How about that? How's that for enticement? Anyway, so this guy wants to. What is he talking about? I have a feeling I will need my attorney from the second I ask for the divorce because I feel she's going to try and limit me from the kids, try to get me out of the house. House is in both our names, but mortgage is solely mine.
How does
It's
that
so
work?
Weird. That's
That's
weird.
irrelevant, right? I mean,
It's
he's just talking about
community
like the account they use to pay the mortgage, right? That's irrelevant, isn't it?
If he lives in a community property state, it's really irrelevant.
Yeah.
But
Still
usually you would, because when you sign up for a mortgage, you would generally do both people and then the deed, because the deed, the company that's doing the financing doesn't want somebody else to have to come after.
Well, the thing is, sometimes people's credit sucks, and so they don't want the other person on the mortgage, and they will make them sign waivers to their community property rights called an interspousal transfer. Just look, I'm relinquishing my rights to the community. This is his or her separate property, but still, you can still make the argument that it's community property. Anyway, I don't want to get into the
It
fun.
doesn't sound like that happened here.
Yeah, this sounds like a mortgage is solely in mine. That doesn't matter. If it's a community property state, it's still half hers. Ideally, I would like to buy her out and do 50-50 with the kids. If he's talking about buying her out, he seems like he's at least done some Google research into what community property is. I don't have a problem with fair child support, but I can't support her anymore. That's the thing. Nobody ever thinks that child support is fair. What would be fair? It's not going to be what guideline support would say.
It's
And
not
guideline
even just child
support is
support, it's alimony, right?
The
8
The
years?
mo-
Yeah, it's going to be alimony too.
the most fair thing in respect to the children is waiting until they're out of the house for the divorce.
Good luck with that.
I'm
Like 13 years to go.
I'm saying it's not fun, but
Yeah.
that's the most fair in the interest of the child, because
Oh.
they get their rearing years with both parents, and then if mom and dad split after they turn 18 and are off to college, then it's less of a bit of an issue.
Would it surprise you to learn that most of my clients could give a shit about the interest of the child?
Oh yeah, I'm sure. I didn't say that's what people are doing.
Just saying.
It depends
any
upon
advice you
how
have?
like terrible their home life is during those 0 to 18 years.
So I'm going to move on from this case because this guy is angering me, and he just needs a consultation and a donut or something. I don't know.
Yeah, he doesn't know how to start.
Maybe give him a cotton candy. Maybe he needs to take a financing class.
Or a
Learn how
slap
to
across
invest.
the face.
Yeah, just stop being a bitch. And you know what?
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't even sound like he even likes his wife in this post or anything. Like,
Yeah.
it's kind of
Nothing about like yeah, there's nothing that shows he's grateful for anything she does.
Yeah.
Right.
What the fuck?
You sound
Does he look like a bitch?
Yes, he looks like a bitch. He looks like a big old bitch.
Yeah, I remember that girl. She was a hoe. For
Jeez.
show.
How do I turn this voice thing off? What did I do? All right, there. I think
one
I'm
of your
back. All right. I had a malfunction on my. We're done with this fucking guy. Fuck this guy. How about that? All right, let's move on.
Yeah. He needs a lot of help before he thinks about divorce.
The next time he wants to classify himself as smart, let's rethink that one. Let's adhere to a different equation. How about that?
Let's do it.
Here's one from a female perspective.
Ooh.
Oh,
You're
no.
gonna be all over this one.
I didn't think you were going to read my post.
Oh well, I'm going to read it in spades, and I'm going to read it in a voice. How about? No, I'm not.
Is it
I'm
this
kidding.
Dear
one?
Reddit, when my husband filmed our pregnancy, there were lens flares everywhere. Should I get a divorce?
Reddit. I feel like my husband is getting too weird about the sex stuff, and he wants the. Never mind.
What?
We don't need your story. We just need the.
I think with Schnitzel it'd be the other way around.
Hmm.
She'd be too freaky.
Hmm.
It's like, you know what, Reddit? My wife is just a little bit too exuberant with the strap on, and I feel. I'm kidding.
I'm freaky in all the right ways, guys.
Or all the wrong ways.
Oh boy.
Bet you're just gonna have to get accustomed to, bitch.
Yeah, I remember that girl. She was a hoe. For sure.
Dang.
Bitch is running wild, man.
All right.
What?
All right. I love Steve Carell, man.
What
That's
is
my
right?
that's my guy. Steve Carell's my guy.
So fucking good. So
All right. So this lady says that this divorce has opened my eyes to see the real person I was married to. Who amongst us have been divorced? I've been divorced. Bruce, Brad, y'all been divorced?
Nope.
Schnitzel, have you been divorced? I don't think I've ever asked you
No,
that.
no. My husband has though.
Oh, well, good for him.
Yeah, she was a fucking bitch.
It fucking happens.
And I try to be what's the word when you're not taking sides?
Supportive.
Neutral.
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 Thank you.
Neutral.
Try to be very neutral
Mhm.
and just listen to everything that happened. And she was a fucking bitch.
Calling her a fucking bitch is very neutral.
Yeah.
Totally.
After I heard all the evidence, she was the problem.
It's like unbiased, but subjective, you know?
But I've known my husband since high school,
Yeah.
and then we dated in high school. We went to different high schools, and then we broke up until like 5 years ago.
Well, luckily, my wife was subjective too, and so my ex was a thing. Anyway, so she says, could I
You
do
got to share your screen.
Hey, Bruce, could I do this in a voice?
No, but you have to share your screen.
God damn it. Bruce is no fun.
I have to go in a few minutes, I think.
Oh, well, and
do want
that
to hear this.
Then you'll pop it.
I'm just waiting for one more person.
So I'm entering a week after being
Oh,
served.
jeez.
well, I can't do it. I'm not doing it. I'm sorry, Bruce. You're right. You're right. The voice is a terrible idea. So I'm entering a week after being served with the paperwork, which is 12 days right after I came back home from visiting and being a full-time caregiver to my mother for 2 straight months, single-handedly on my own. 4 months earlier, the other party dropped the bomb a couple of days before I boarded the plane, saying he wanted a divorce. We did not communicate for 4 months till I came home. I was mentally and physically exhausted ever since then. Did not have time to even think of my own problem while was being a caregiver. The moment I came home, he wanted to be affectionate. One last affection before he's going to kick me to the side and send someone over to hand me the summons. That's what he said. Oh yeah, there is no way I'm letting this human, to put it mildly, to even land his finger on me after how he treated me. A couple of days later, he wanted me to be served with the paper on the day itself. At first, I was asking for a week, since I really just came back and needed to process myself on what's going on because I was too busy and physically exhausted for months, coupled with I was out of the country with limited resources and help I could get. But no, he wouldn't have it. So I asked to do it the next day. So it happened the next day. For the next couple of days, I was busy making calls. I was shut down by some of them when I asked too many questions, while another attorney pulled himself out the moment he realized I have no money to pay the retainer fee. Well, just take it out of the equity in the house or fucking make him pay the attorney fees. I was scrambling, trying my best to understand of the process and what I need to do. I have no friends and help, let alone give me any lead and references. Somehow there was a kind soul on here that had been through the same situation as mine, and she drafted out steps for me on what I need to do. I finally managed to get in touch in the community not far from where I live, and they give me a number of a pro bono attorney that might be able to help me out. What do you mean a pro bono attorney? I don't know of any pro bono attorneys, to be honest with you.
If you find one, great, but
Who was working for free?
David Gingras for appeals.
yeah.
Or maybe for blowjobs.
Oh no.
We are not alleging that anything is happening in that particular.
Absolutely not. Never.
Not at
No.
all. We are speculating into the universe of speculation. We're not
No
doing
chance.
that. Never mind.
Look, David Gingras never played tight end for the Seattle Seahawks. Come on, it's not going to happen.
Gingerbread would totally play tight end for the Seattle Seahawks if he had given the chance.
I don't know.
I don't know either. It doesn't matter. I don't know. Friday evening, I came home and he was waiting on the couch. I told him I wanted to do pro bono. He started talking me into not going into that route. What are you talking about? The fuck is this about? I told him I want to do pro bono. He started talking me into not going that route, saying he has no means to bear the legal fees. I'm a housewife. He showed me how much money he has in the account, which means nothing. For all I know, he might have stashed his money somewhere or hidden funds that I'm not aware of. Everybody thinks that, by the way. I don't think I've ever had a divorce case where somebody doesn't think that they've buried money in Colombia somewhere. Not even kidding.
Wow.
Colombia.
What country of choice? Wherever you want to say. They got money in the pillow sack and their other property that's
The
been
Cayman.
I was going to say, give me a shovel and a plane ticket.
He tries to negotiate terms with me. I was thinking beforehand I could fight for my case and let my voice be heard, but I really did not want this to turn ugly. And at the end of the day, since I'm seeking a spousal support, even I'm being awarded the amount I'm seeking by the court. If he has no money, I might not see the cat. What is this lady talking about? My situation is different from the others on here because I'm leaving and moving back to my home country. That's what I suspected. Once this divorce is over. Might not be what I want, but it is best for me survival-wise. So really what he agreed to do was to buy my plane ticket, pay to fly my cat with me.
What?
I'm leaving my other cat behind. It's sad because there's no way my 12-year-old sick cat could survive 17 hours flight.
Oh my
If
gosh.
your cat sleeps overnight for the next day, they can get on a plane.
I was going to say, what sense does that make? Maybe it's time to put it down.
There is a lot of preamble stuff in here that doesn't have
What? I
anything
don't
to
even
do
know
with
what's
whatever
happening.
The question is.
I'm confused by this lady myself. On top of this,
Much
he
more.
wanted me to be out of the house by April. I asked him to give me some time, at least until the divorce is finalized, to allow me to spend one last time with my cat I'm leaving behind. Pack and clear all of my stuff and probably walk around some places and see this country one last time and get my closure. There is no way I'm going to come back and hence come back here since I have nothing left and it's extremely far from where I come from. I want you guys to know that what you're hearing right now is like 80% of the people that come to my office. They ramble and you're like, what the fuck are we talking about right now? But more often than not, it's this kind of stuff.
He wants me out of sight, out of mind. To him, I'm nothing but a huge block for him that stopped him from moving forward and getting on his newly acquired single life, even though I have the right to stay in this house. The lease of this.
It totally goes this way. They just start ranting to me. Like, this whole paragraph is irrelevant. Who gives a shit about this? She cares about it, but it's not legally relevant. A day later, he called me and started talking about buying my ticket and talking about getting the cat permit. It got to a point where he started to become disrespectful and condescending that I had to end the call.
Pissed off with what I did, he started talking out loud, raising his voice right outside my bedroom door. He adamantly and rudely saying he wanted me out as soon as I could. That hurts. That really hurts. I spent my nights crying that I don't deserve to be treated this way. I've been accommodating and in my fact, cooperating to what he wants, but never he would leave me alone in peace. At one point, I was scared of my life.
Oh gosh, she's scared for her life now. If this guy ever gonna land his hands on me, this coming from the same guy who said a couple of days earlier that he wanted to be civil. You know what's sad? Like, I'm reading this and you guys are like, what the fuck is going on right now?
Holy shit, it keeps going.
This is like 80% of my cases.
Oh
They
my
just start
gosh.
ranting about this. They're talking about the cat. They're talking about he's going to lay her hands on him, but she's never been actually experienced domestic violence. And he wants me out of the house. And he's got a Korean girlfriend. And he met somebody online. And he's trying to ace me out and bring her in and ship me off to the Philippines. Bro, I've seen this shit.
It sounds like she was the Korean girlfriend.
Is there a question at the end of this? Like, what's the question?
Now she was the Korean girlfriend. Now he wants a Philippine Philippine girlfriend.
Well, the Philippian girls do have peens, so
They might have peens. At least 30% of them, by my brother's count, who's been to the
Guys,
Jesus, Brad. Marriage and divorce does not change the person, but change my own perspective of that person. I'm not going to do the voice anymore, Bruce. I've been wearing rose-colored glasses all these years, drinking a potion that was called patience that made my marriage bearable. I've realized many things about this person now. This divorce, for one thing, has shown me how he has become excruciatingly painful, controlling freak and manipulative menace. Look,
I don't have any patience for this post.
yeah.
there is nothing to glean from this post. I'm just going to tell you this.
Can we go to the end and see if there's a question?
No, I'm not even going to go. I don't give a shit anymore. I'm done with this.
Like
It's
I said,
so
it
long.
keeps going.
No, there's no question.
I used to love this guy. I put up with anything for 14-ish long years. I accepted him the way he was, but only to be thrown out of the house and be divorced high and dry. I'm done with marriage and I'm done with relationship. Yes, no divorce. No, yes, no. Divorce, that is one man's fault. And I admit I was part of this failure too. And why are we even
Gaslighting yourself?
Here's the problem. Okay, you're in the
Ooh,
r/divorce subreddit, which is the support forum for divorcing people or people with questions about the unfortunate experience. It doesn't require a question. You've selected a post with no question. So all you can do is comment on whether or not certain circumstances are relevant or not.
Sometimes the best questions are not questions at all. They're just simply
Observations.
statements of fact that should be commented on.
Yes,
And to that degree,
exactly.
to that degree, divorce sucks, man. And you see, I guess from my perspective, I look at this stream of consciousness. This is what this is.
Mm-hmm.
This is what this is.
Because they want some support from the anonymous internet.
Now, when I have people sitting in my office and I'm given a consult, this is what I get. Stream of consciousness.
Mm-hmm.
1% of this is relevant legally. 1%. Nobody gives a shit about your cat. Nobody gives a shit about how you feel wronged. Nobody gives a shit about how he's going for somebody younger in a different country of origin and he wants to try that out and he's shipping you back home. Nobody fucking cares. They don't. But for my clients, this is their reality. The end of a marriage, it's a striking thing.
If
There's
you were
only one
writing up a
comment.
settlement proposal for these people, you might include the cat. Correct.
No, I would request that the judge order the cat be put down. If it can't survive a 17-hour flight where it's to be supposed to be sleeping and fed, I don't know.
Well, I just mean cats in general.
Oh, totally. Are we speaking metaphorically or like literally?
No, I mean when you
cats.
write up settlement proposals and you're going back and forth and negotiating, don't you include cats and dogs and things like that in there?
There is a such thing as petimony. Support for the dog or the cat or the pet.
Mm.
Who's going to I've literally written custody orders for pets. Like he gets the dog every other weekend and then you're going to give him support or he's going to give you support for the days that you have him or whatever. We negotiate who's going to pay for what percentage of veterinary care. All of those things are a thing in California anyway.
My ex wanted custody sharing of our dog, and we weren't even married. We were just dating. And when we broke up, she's like, "Well, I want half the dog." I'm like, "Get the fuck out of here!" No,
we're not taking my dog, bitch.
The front half or the back half?
Fuck does that mean? Jesus Christ.
So the interesting thing about that is we ended up moving me and my wife got married, and then we wanted to move again, but because this dog had husky in it, it meant renting was a real pain because for some reason husky is on the short list of bad dogs.
Was he a female or a male?
He was female.
Does he look like a bitch?
Yeah, she did look like a bitch. So, but so then I actually contacted her and said, "Hey, do you want our dog?" And she said, "Yeah." So we ended up getting her shipped out to Oregon, where she was at the time. So she ended up getting her in the end, but
that's how it goes.
Oh, was that the punchline?
It wasn't a punchline. It was just a story.
Related.
Oh.
All right, guys, I gotta go.
Bye,
well, say a prayer for Brad so that he might survive.
I was hoping this second post
What about me?
Super interesting. You can handle yourself, Schnitzel.
Yeah,
I worry about Brad. You're fine.
About Brad.
You see these noodly arms?
He thinks that Brad is in peril because of you and me. I just want you to know that.
And I'm not wrong.
All
right, guys.
Take care of
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. I should have done the voice. I fucked up.
Ooh, look at that. Are those 5-pounders?
Do you speak it?
Hey, what kind of weight was that, Brad? How much are you lifting over there?
That's just a 10-pounder.
Ooh.
Oh, all right.
Nice. See those veins popping.
But the thing is it literally sits there, and I keep forgetting that I have it.
Oh.
You got to stream more often. You'll see it.
Well, no, because I'm not looking down here next to my.
He's doing penis lift with his 10-pound weights. I want you to know that.
Lifting the desk.
I'm honestly waiting for Brad to start up his cooking show again. I want to be another.
Yeah,
I want to
everyone
be
is
on his cooking show. I want to cook my peppercorn steak for him and his audience.
I want to cook my peppercorn steak for him.
Fuck yeah, dude.
I gotta want to cook again. That's the problem.
Anyway, I'm done. I'm done with this lady. All right, we're getting into some more succinct posts. I think that's a good thing.
Salacious.
Good.
Salacious or fallacious?
Salacious B. Crumb is my favorite Star Wars character.
Salacious B. Crumb. What the fuck?
Salacious B. Crumb is the little creature that sits on Jabba and goes.
Really? That's the name of that thing?
Is that like your spirit animal, or are you the cackler that like
I am definitely a cackler.
The cackler who trolls.
I'm a troll. I'm a cackler.
I'm gonna keep my mouth to myself.
Oh, Brad, don't keep your mouth to yourself.
Said Laura Owens.
There's a reason you and Kamala fit so well together. There we go.
Do not come. Do not come. And then Donald Trump. Oh, I'm gonna come.
God, I feel dirty every time I hear it, but people find the most creative uses for that. And it's like, God damn it, why did you have to say that?
Oh, that's your boy, Brad.
Oh my God. I have thoughts and feelings if he is still your boy after everything that has happened.
Oh,
we need to do a political stream if we're gonna do that. We can't be
yeah.
I would go fucking unhinged on your ass.
Oh.
I don't even know I don't think anyone would want to hear that.
I feel like we should schedule this stream. I feel like they're on a different
my
show.
blood pressure is already right now increasing.
Oh, my blood pressure is similarly high. And I feel like
that's from your alcohol. Woodford does that too.
I feel things, man. I feel things. My shot was 5 fingers deep. 5 fingers deep today.
Your show is 5 fingers deep?
My shot. My Woodford. I had to finish off the bottle. I don't got Dominic here to help me.
My husband poured mine and he was like, "Oh, it was a heavy pour." And I was like, "That's great.
That's all I needed
for you, bitch."
After the day I've had. God.
Oh gosh, man. All right, let's get into this one. I was told by my wife that she wants a break. Oh. Hopefully there's some logical clarity into this post because I can't deal with another rambling bullshit. Woes
share it.
post. I just can't.
Your screen.
Oh.
Yeah.
Snitchel.
You're
Snitchel.
welcome, Armor.
Y'all are just toasty.
I'm a little bit toasty. I'm probably like 0.18. I'm probably 0.18.
I'm
We've
like
gotta-
0.00069.
Schnitzel, that's bullshit. You can't just like lag like that.
Lag?
Yeah, you're lagging. You're nursing your drink over there.
It's fucking empty.
Well, you need to pour yourself another one.
Whoa, but it's upstairs.
Well, before we get this one started, you march yourself upstairs and get your drink and come back.
God forbid you have to climb the stairs for another drink of it.
Off. That's not even the reason.
Or
I'm trying to not be rude and leave your stream, but
do
I'll be
what
right back.
every self-empowered feminist does. Text your husband, say, "Go get me a new drink."
I'm getting it myself.
Oh,
okay.
Look at her. Look at Schnitzel. All
But
right.
I do like to just sit on the couch and be like, honey, can you get me?
Yeah. Hey, I require another drink, bitch.
If he's out in the kitchen already, if he's sitting right next to me, I'll get it myself. But if he's already out there, I'll definitely ask. All right,
You
be right
do that thing where it's like you give them a request and then you're like, hey, I think I need like I think I need another shot, bitch. But you say it like under your breath.
No,
No,
it
it's
doesn't
even
help.
funnier because there's a couple that I follow on Instagram, and the guy gets up and then he comes back to sit down and he looks at her and she looks all comfy and sitting next to him. He turns back, he looks over again, and then as soon as that butt hits that couch, she goes, "Oh, can you go get me some?" Lady, I was up.
Yeah, I would do that. I would do that to troll for sure. If I were gonna call anyone a bitch, it would be my mom because we have the same sense of humor, very similar. So I'd be like, "Bitch, go get me that bourbon."
I'll never forget that Lauren stream and those pictures that you were sharing.
From my diary.
your diary entries. Sarah Dawn says, as soon as Bruce leaves, it always goes off the rail. Totally.
I feel like Bruce is like, we are here to do this. We need.
Bruce is like the dad. He's like our dad.
He's a great dad, though.
He's a good dad.
Well,
But
okay, I'm gonna get my ass up, burn off those calories, and climb up those stairs, guys.
oh man, you're gonna burn like 12 calories.
Yeah, I hope.
And
You're
drink
right.
another 60.
Maybe 8 to 12 calories. Pessimistic to optimistic.
Half full to half, or half empty to half full.
I feel like Brad. I feel like you're not drinking in conjunction with the rest of us.
I'm not drinking. I'm feeling it from this because
Really? How many ounces is that?
25. It's a tall boy.
So that's like a wine cooler times 2. So that's like gonna get you to 0.03.
I don't know how much is actually in it. It's 4.1 by volume.
Oh, that's a wine cooler, dude. That's like for girls. You gotta get yourself some whiskey.
I poured my last good whiskey for Legal Vices, and and that's the stuff that I can't find.
What was it? What kind of whiskey was it?
That was the 1792 single barrel.
1792 is a good whiskey.
It's good, but you always find the small batch. The
Yeah.
single barrel is harder to find.
How much does that go in a bottle for like a 750 ml?
You only get it in 375.
Really?
Yeah. And is it 3? It's not a big bottle.
Clearly, it is not. That's like a poker night. Poker face. You know what I learned about that song, the Lady Gaga song, the Poker Face? That's like about a guy sticking his junk in some lady's face.
Oh my god!
Oh my god!
It is 750. It's just shaped funny. Okay, but
Who the fuck are you to put me on trial?
but it says
Does
that
he look like a bitch?
it says it starts at $35.
English,
But
motherfucker, do you speak it?
I haven't found it for less than 80.
Everybody say a prayer for Brad.
I It doesn't bother me.
$80 for 375 mils, really?
No, it's eight. No, it's a $7.50. It's just shaped in a funny bottle.
Oh, okay. I got you.
I thought it was smaller because it wasn't in a huge thing, but no, it is
That's what she
$7.50.
said.
Angel is in the house. What's up, Angel?
Hey, Angel.
Angel with a G.
Angel with a G.
Angel is a G.
Oh, I thought you said angel with a G. I was like, what else would it be?
Yeah, what would it be if there wasn't a G in the angel? It would be like a
J.
XIO. ANXIO.
Angel. Oh.
Schnitzel, you're fucking me up right now.
With all due respect, sir, you are fucked already. So
Exactly. Thanks.
P. Mahone says, sorry, but women need to learn to keep their own money. I'm not going to disagree with that at all. I got married young, had my own accounts since I was a child, thanks to my parents. And don't commingle any inheritance. Just saying, no, 100%. Your inheritance is your separate property until you start commingling it with joint accounts with your husband. Then it becomes community property, and then you're fucked.
Mm-hmm.
Just keep it separate. Keep a separate account in your own name to store all of your separate property assets, and you'll be good. Also invest in XRP.
XRP?
In Ripple. Insider information.
Mm.
And that's free for the two of you and whoever else is listening.
And the 5 people watching this stream.
The 30 people or whatever that are in here. Why the fuck is there not more people watching Flad? Is it because of the time slot?
I think it's because of the time slot.
Because it's like 7 o'clock on a Friday night. People got better things to do. I moved Flad to the evenings because I wanted it to be actually after dark. Would it be better if I moved it to like Saturday nights or Sunday nights? Maybe Thursday nights.
Have you looked at like the numbers now versus when you were doing it in the afternoon?
Oh, we had way better numbers in the afternoon.
Mm.
People, I feel like people want to watch this more when they're at work.
Yeah,
the fuck off. Then like, no, people are like it. They're doing stuff on Friday nights.
Yeah.
But I had the idea that maybe After Dark should be really after dark, and so here we are.
It's after dark somewhere.
Yeah. Look, Angel says that she's at work. I got to work. Love you guys.
Nice.
See? Amy Bonner says, hey, Amy Bonner hasn't been in a while.
Hi, Amy.
I'm here, but I'm driving home. I'm at a stoplight right now, though. Well, you just be safe out there, Amy. How about that?
No texting and driving.
Yeah, and do not accept help from wayward men at gas stations that are looking to
Oh, God.
cop a look or something.
They're looking to cop a look.
Looking to cop a look. All right. So this guy, I was told by my wife she wants a break. All right, so this guy's 28 years old. His wife is 27. I feel like this is going to be a good one. Have been together for 7 years and married for almost 2. We have a beautiful 1-year-old, and I thought everything was perfect for us. It's been a tough week, but I was informed that she wanted a break between us. It came out of left field, and I was lost on what could have happened. She expressed that she needed space to think on what she wants to do and find herself. Again, since I understand me being the sole provider for our family, she had all the time at our home to take care of our kid while she was making sure that she had freedom to relax. She said she wasn't sure who she was anymore, since her identity had changed from who she was to now mom. I understand that having a child is a very big moment, and also it's a dramatic change to our dynamic and relationship. She expressed that I have not met her needs, and she has no love nor feels happy with me anymore. Brad Schnitzel, what do you think about this sentence in the context of a marriage?
Context.
Yeah.
Like, has she my first question was, has she expressed any of this to him before, or is it coming out of the blue? I feel like it's one thing if you say like, hey, I've become aware these are my needs, and I feel like I'm falling out of love with you. And then they maybe go to a therapist and they try to work on things, and he's either neglecting them intentionally or he just can't, he's just not the person she needs, I guess. That's different to me than her just coming up one night and being like, hey, you're not meeting my needs and I don't feel any love for you, or I'm not happy anymore.
Chad Brockington is filling my needs.
The guy at Salsa is fulfilling my needs.
Yeah, the salsa guy is fulfilling my needs, bitch. And you were not the guy. You were not Chad
But
Brock.
P. Mahone actually brings up a good point: is she could be experiencing extended postpartum,
Yeah.
and
Well, I don't know, man. What do you mean her needs are not met? So marriage vows are a thing. Marriage vows are very specific. Sickness and health. And good times and in bad. Till death do us part. And she has expressed, I have not met her needs. She has no love or feels happy with me anymore. Happiness is not part of the equation.
nope.
Her needs are not part of the equation. They're a variable. I guess that would make them part of the equation, but they're not like this positive based on the vows that they took, presumably. She says, I'm not her safe space, even though I've been trying so hard to provide and give love to both my child and my wife, working 10 to 12 hours a day. And whenever I'm home, whether if I'm off or come home for work, I make sure to take care of our child. So she does have her own time to do what she would like to do. Hey, can one of y'all like take over the reading so I could regain my voice for a minute?
Go ahead, Brad.
Yeah. I make sure to take care of our child, so she does have her own time to do what she would like to do, and have her own time, since being a stay-at-home mom is not easy. Noted, all the stuff we have isn't joint, but we don't have a house together, just an apartment. That's rough.
Yeah.
She's been talking.
I'm sorry, I'll take over from here. So she's been talking to a new friend group in a video game online recently, and this is way before she told me that she wanted to take a break from me. I've noticed that she has been talking to this new guy, and I seem to be concerned since they would talk all day and all night. I expressed my concerns regarding it, and she just said that he was like a brother to her. Oh, what do you think about Chad Brockington, the brother?
Yeah. It depends. Are they a local gaming group, or are they an? Because it sounds like she's if he was local, she's probably already hanging out with him or something.
Schnetzel, are you part of a gaming group?
Not since I had my son, but I used to be part of a group with a bunch of guys who none of them were local. But one of them, unbeknownst to me at the time, had a girlfriend, and we were very, very flirty. And then and we became like Facebook friends. And then I found out he got like engaged, and I was like, "What? You were dating someone and now you're engaged?" Well, they are getting divorced now.
Oh,
Who knew?
But it doesn't. Well, from his perspective, it's not his. Apparently, she cheated on him with with his brother.
Damn.
Oh,
yeah.
Maury.
It's crazy. It's a crazy story. But anyway, like I think that it can be easy to like make that connection with someone online. It almost makes it less real if it's just someone it's almost like Love is Blind. You're like spilling like you're making this emotional connection to someone without it being like physical and like you seeing the person like in person. Does that make sense?
Yeah, you can call it an emotional affair, because if you're talking to someone about all of these things, then you become invested in the relationship, even though there's no physicality there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I've seen how it can happen.
I guess that makes sense. It totally does. So he was told by that her friend group that his guy knew that she was married, and I did not want to think worst case scenario. A few hours later, I was told by a good friend of mine that she has over sharing her needs, affection, sexual, and saying that I did not meet her needs no more, but mentioned that this guy she's been talking to could. How the fuck would she even know that?
Well, see, here's the funny thing. She's talking about her needs to a bunch of people who aren't her husband,
Yeah.
and then claiming that her husband isn't meeting her needs. Talk to your effing husband, lady. Like, you know,
These
if you
folks,
tell,
like, she's 28 and 27. That makes sense. So she doesn't know anything, and she's talking about her needs are not being met or whatever. She says he says I was devastated to hear that because I thought I did everything I could to make her happy. Providing the home and food for our family. Later that night, I checked all call logs and texts from this guy, and to my surprise, they've been sending explicit messages towards each other and asking questions about him sexually and comparing me to him to the point that they have gotten off while on chat
ooh,
or phone call.
that's
That is
just
a fucked up
cheating
thing.
at that point.
Yeah.
She later found out that I found all this out and was sorry for her action, but she still wants to talk to this guy because she was worried for his mental state after I caught them in the act. Hey, Brad, put yourself in this guy's shoes. And she's saying, oh, I need to continue because I'm worried about his mental state. What do you say to your wife?
Bitch, you're fucking cheating on me, and you're saying you need to cheat on me more to
That's,
be able
I
to
would
make
love
sure.
to hear you say that to your wife.
Well, I'm not saying that to my wife because I'm smarter than that. But if I was this guy in the story's shoes, like, you're cheating on me and you want to continue cheating on me for his mental sake. You don't even care about me. You're more interested in this guy than you are about me, and I'm your husband.
Well,
Like,
she's also very immature. She's like 27 years old, 28 years old, or whatever.
Together
it was.
since they were like around 19.
Yeah, which is always a bad idea. They always lead to this kind of stuff.
Do you know from personal experience?
Well, I got married when I was 22, so that was my first marriage.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's a really bad idea. I mean, you have no idea what life is all about and where you're going and where you want to go and who you want to be. And I'd imagine it's probably something similar for her. Like, for all I know, she might have been with him out of a sense of duty that she experienced from her own personal childhood. And it's always like a really bad idea. So he says, I want this marriage to work because I love her, even though she emotionally cheated, and we have a child together. But it's so hard to find a will to keep trying if she's talking to this guy whenever I'm at work. And when I come home from work, is it my fault that she's seeking this attention to someone else she never met? And I should have done a better job showing her the love that she deserves.
No.
That is a loaded question. What do y'all think about that?
I think the answer is absolutely no.
That's gaslighting yourself into thinking that it's your problem. Here's the thing. People, guys especially, can get into a pattern where they forget to do things like buying flowers or doing things. They get busy. It's not on our top of mind all the time. So woman gets upset and says, hey, you don't buy me flowers anymore. It's like, I've been busy and I haven't been thinking about it.
I'll be right back, folks. Give me 30 seconds.
Okay.
Yeah. But that doesn't mean that he doesn't love her, because everyone, Stephen Covey put out the book, The 5 Love Languages, and it shows that people give and receive love possibly in different ways than others, and understanding how they receive love and how they give love can help give you a fundamental understanding about a person and know what you need to do in order to make them feel loved.
Right.
So it's such a I feel bad for this guy because he's blaming himself, but at the same time, it's like this woman just straight up is abandoning you. She doesn't want to talk to you. She's more interested in sexting and chatting up Chad Brockington over here to get her emotional and sexual fulfillment. It's like, it's not just an emotional affair at that point.
Right.
Whether there was physical contact or not, she's sending lewds, nudes, whatever the case may be.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think like I could see a world in which, if I don't know these people obviously, but if he suggested therapy and she was open to it, and he said, I like, if you can like work through this, I want to work through it too. If they're both like open to that, I think this relationship is salvageable, but she needs help, and they need better communication, obviously. But if she is not in the mental place to be able to accept the fact that she needs help and accept that help, then obviously like it's not going to work out.
Yeah. It sucks that people get into these marriages, and it's easy to fall victim to this because you're dating someone for 5 years and you think everything is good, and we don't know how long this gaming relationship that she's had with this guy. So it could have been something that's been even before they got married, because you develop these gaming friend groups and they can last decades. I mean,
yeah, I mean the guy I met him in 2017, and we're still friends. Actually, we met up for the first time in person last year.
My friend group, I met this one guy in particular. We were playing League of Legends back in 2009 or 10, and he was my best man at my wedding in 2016.
Cool. That's all. Yeah, I mean they can develop into real relationships.
You know, we still talk, text to this day, whether it's talking about gaming or just general nonsense.
That's awesome.
All right, well, let me raise you this one. What if your husband had like a gaming friend, and it was like, we're gonna meet up at a coffee shop or something, and it's been a relationship that's been like festering since about 2017, 2018.
That's literally what I did. Well, I met up with my son and this guy's daughter, but like we had been in touch, and my husband knew about him, and I was like, we have the opportunity to meet for the first time. Like, I would really like to do that. How do you feel about that? And he was like, yeah, that's fine. Go meet him. And so then we finally actually met.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So it didn't have to be that big of a deal. You know, like it wasn't like all of this, like what this guy is talking about, like an emotional affair and all these things.
Right. I mean, like at one point it was like more than friendship, not like a lot more than friendship, but it was more. But we both had our own families and moved on.
Yeah.
We were able to like contain that in the past.
For sure. Did your husband know about all of those things?
Yes. Yep. He knows about all of it. He knows about pictures I received. He knows about their divorce. He knows about all this stuff. I am an oversharer.
Nice. So she says, I regret any instance that she mentioned that I'm not showing her the love that she wants. I'm not willing to work on them and keep fighting for our marriage, but she has no reason or will to make it work because she does not believe that I will change. If we do go to marriage counseling, it wouldn't be beneficial for her since she does not see any love towards me, and I'm not her safe space no more. But this new guy is. She shows no will to make this work, and I understand no one is perfect. But I feel like any suggestion or action that I do towards this is just for naught. So she wants to take a break. She's been together with this guy since she was 20 years old.
Mhm.
She's just now becoming this she's 27. That means that her frontal cortex is fully developed. She's who she's going to be. 27? You're about fully developed. 28? Same for men. And she made certain decisions when she was 20 years old, when she was a child. I don't know, man. What do you think about... So when you had your situation, Schnitzel, like you were not a child.
I was not a child.
Yeah. I feel like these people are.
Yeah. And there's also, I mean, about marrying young and not really knowing who you are yet.
Yeah.
I think that's probably playing somewhat into this as well. I think it's like kind of complex in the sense that they just really need to figure shit out. She needs to figure out if she actually wants to be with her husband.
Yeah.
If she does, then she needs to take certain steps to get to that point where like it's a healthy relationship with him. And is she able to give up? Is she mentally able to give up this, like, whatever it is, whatever type of relationship it is with this other person, because it's basically a non-negotiable, and it's also, you know, not healthy for the relationship if she continues that line of communication with that person.
Problem is that she's still in this fantasy world that whatever she's got going on with this other guy is gonna somehow like foster some like beautiful relationship, something that I don't know. It's all like the big unknown, like the grass is greener or whatever. They have a child together.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not ruling out like postpartum for this lady at all.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like she's dealing with the perils of raising a 1-year-old. And I think that all of us have experienced what that's like to raise a 1-year-old. It sucks. It's really hard. It's really hard. It takes its toll emotionally. It affects your judgment going forward. And I feel like maybe that's playing a little bit into it. But I don't know, man. I don't know. Like at some point, some people, in my experience, when they get into these relationships, when they were like, that started when they're like 19, 20, 21 years old, and they last throughout the years, and they decide that, you know what, this ain't for me. Like they're saying a few different things. Number one, maybe they chose poorly. What they wanted at 19, 20 years old is not what they want as an adult. Number two, they're depressed because, you know, these people have a child that's 1 year old and they're dealing with all of those things. And number three, they almost certainly have these communication issues where whatever it is that she's talking about with this new guy, she probably has no ability to speak about it with her actual husband. And so he's sitting here wondering, like, what do I do now? I got a 1-year-old child with this lady. Now what? And she's wrapped up in, oh, you're not fulfilling my needs and all these kinds of things. And more often than not, when I see people in my office that are trying to get divorced in their 20s, it's all about their feelings. When people get divorced when they're in their 40s, it's usually because of infidelity or some other form of abuse or whatever. Like they worked out all of those other issues. They're not disillusioned to this idea that there's one person out there that's going to fulfill all of their emotional feelings. They've just kind of moved beyond all of that. And so when 20-year-olds decide to go this route, it's almost idealistic in source and in nature. If they were to wait like 5 to 10 years, then it becomes about like other more concrete stuff. What do you think of that?
Yeah, that's perfectly rational in me. The problem is how do you understand if you're physically if you're emotionally ready for that kind of a commitment, and it's not something that's going to...
Well, that's the problem, because most children think that they're ready like at 18, 19 years old, 20 years old, 16 years old, 15 years old. You know,
13, 14. There's girls that are like, I'm an adult now. And it's like, you have no idea what you're thinking of. You think you're an adult. You think that you're getting attention. That might make you an adult, but it's not.
Yeah.
And I think like some people can, like P. Moan said, you know, like she was married at 19 and like her husband's her best friend. And I think like that can absolutely happen for people. If I married the person I was with at 19, I 100% would have been divorced and I would have been in an abusive relationship. So I think it just like, it depends. It just, there's so much it depends on, I think, if it would be successful at that point or not. And if you do grow together or if you don't grow together, some people have like a different maturity level already at 19. It's, I don't know. I think this situation is super complicated and it really comes down to what do both people want out of their relationship? Like, does she want to be with her husband?
Well, what did you want when you were 25 versus when you were 35 versus when you were 45?
Well, I'm not anywhere near 45. Think so.
You're old schnitzel.
So, I mean, when I was younger, I felt like I was going to give my everything to make the relationship work, even if it was detrimental to me. And I did that. And I was with someone who had a ring for me. And I mean, in that situation, I finally realized no matter what I did, I wasn't going to be able to help him. I wasn't going to be able to change him. And it took me 3 years to realize that, to feel it, to know it, and to know that I could finally leave the relationship because I finally saw that. And now it's like there's just so much when you're with a partner who you can communicate with, who you can work through situations with. I think that makes all the difference. So it's figuring out like where your lines are, what you're willing to put up with, what you can put up with, and what you can't. And so I mean, in a partner, it's a lot of things, right? You look for a lot of things in a partner. But anyway, I guess say like more specific, and like I learned a lot from that the other relationship about what I needed, what I wanted, what I could handle, what I couldn't handle, all of that. So I learned a lot about myself. So yeah, I don't know if that really answers your question though.
Well, no, it's just it's a display of how like your needs change as you're younger. When you're younger, you're more idealistic. After you've been beaten up by the world a little bit and you're in your 30s, your needs and your wants shift fundamentally. This lady hasn't had that yet. She knows this one guy. She's been with him for a while. She doesn't know anybody else, and she wants to explore. Sounds to me like she's a prime example of somebody that had no business getting married at 20 years old. And now she's stuck here and she's wondering why she wants other things. And this guy has the best of intentions. He wants to raise a family, but she's in her feelings like, oh, this doesn't feel right. Doesn't feel like I'm getting my needs met. Doesn't feel like this and that. Feels like I deserve more. It's the deserve more that cripples relationships.
Yeah.
What does she know about what she deserves?
I've said it before. I'll say it again. Love is a verb because it requires action. There's one thing for feeling love, but true love is doing the things because you're so pissed off at the person across the room, but you're going to do it anyway. And it sucks. But that's it, you know, it's just one of those things. It's like, I'm really mad at you right now, but I'm still going to bring you this dessert because, ugh.
Well, it's like anything else. I mean, your feelings in your professional life, in your romantic life, if you're controlled by your feelings, you're going to make bad decisions. And you're going to make incorrect evaluations. of your relationships, of your partners, of your business prospects, of a lot of things. And so if you're beholden, like many young folks are, to your feelings and what you feel like you deserve, you have no fucking idea what you deserve. Why do you deserve things? Why? Why do you deserve to be happy? Answer me that question. Because there's a whole other spectrum of it, whether or not he deserves to be happy, whether or not she deserves to be happy. You know, what the fuck is happiness anyway? What is going to make you happy? People are so wrapped up in that, I feel like in their 30s and 20s, that they forget that they're like in a partnership, that they're supposed to be building something. And then in the course of building things are going to be hard. And at the first sign of adversity, you know, they feel like, oh, I don't feel this or that. I don't feel like I'm whatever. And then they want to bail. And then they find this friend online or whatever. They find whoever that tells her that she's pretty, or like has no responsibilities to her whatsoever, but could tell her all of the things. But he doesn't have to prove any of it because he's just some dipshit guy that she doesn't know. He's just trying to get a little action. That's all. But it makes her feel good. And it feels good to feel good. And then she starts making evaluations based on inexperience. That's a death knell. Young folks in their relationships. So there's that.
I think it's interesting too that these people, while they got married young, they waited 5 to 6 years to have a child.
Yeah.
Which, so then I wonder, you know, I'd want to know, was she feeling this way before she had their child for like the first 5 or 6 years? Or was it after? Because even aside from postpartum, as we all know, I mean, the relationship changes between husband and wife. It just does. There's no way it can stay the same.
Yeah, it can't. It has to evolve.
Yeah.
It has to.
And even like my husband had some feelings of, you know, not getting as much attention as he used to. And in my mind, I'm like, well, you dumb fuck. Obviously, you're not going to get as much attention. Like, I kind of have like a human I'm trying to keep alive. But it just.
You mean you're not waiting with a bow on? Come on.
Not my one ex would say he wanted me waiting in the kitchen barefoot and naked.
Oh, does he?
Home from work. Yeah, like he wanted very traditional, like he didn't want me to work. He did not want me to be seeing anyone else, like no friends, you know, cut out the family.
50s housewife.
Yes, very much so. And that's the one who I was like, I'll do anything for you. I'm so in love with you. You're my first like real love. We're going to get married. You know, I was just willing to. Yeah. Anyway. But so yeah, I find that interesting about this situation too, that they waited a while to have the child, and then are her feelings like Brad said, this relationship with the online guy could have been going on for like a long time. Could have been going on for, you know, the baby.
Yeah. Well, I think we're good with that one. I have nothing else to say to that guy other than fuck.
Godspeed.
Don't get married when you're 20. How about that? Like maybe you went to your 25, 27. Like, what's the rush, man? All these people trying to rush into marriage.
It's such a huge part of our culture, I feel. I mean, maybe it's changing a little bit these days, but whoa.
Well, over the past 40 years, it's been increasing well after. So you look at the average age of marriage and having kids, and it's been steadily growing for decades.
Yeah. But I mean, you can't ignore like Hollywood, for example. Like, I mean, yeah, I know movies are changing to more like progressive, like independent woman kind of thing. But I feel like for a long time, it was, you know, like say you graduate high school, you go to college, you find a partner, you get married, you have a family, you know, you buy the house, like all that. Like it was very much like this is kind of how things are supposed to go. And this is what love looks like when you fall in love, you know? So I don't know.
feel like people don't know that love is supposed to be hard.
Right.
It is not a fairy tale.
Right.
It's just not. It isn't. It fucking sucks. And it's not that it sucks. It's just that it's work, man. It is work. But anyway, let's go on to this last one. This is our last case of the day.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes.
It's a weird question.
Sure.
Uh-oh.
So when you guys first started dating your significant others,
Okay.
how did you approach the farting pooping situation? Were you more like, I'll never do it in front of them? Or were you more like, yeah, like everyone does it. So, or what were you like?
Well, I don't feel like you should just start doing that willy-nilly with your partner. There's something that should be just kept in private. Like you can know that you're doing those things and those things have to happen, but you don't got to be like gross about it. You know what I mean? Like there's some couples that do that. I've just never felt the need to do that with my partner.
But like there's people that'll be, door wide open, don't care at all. But my
That's
wife, if
big.
I ask her to bring a roll of toilet paper or something, she will do the awkward slide the hand in. It's like here, I don't want to see anything that's going on over there. Like,
I'm in the relationship. I'm like, okay, like we both know like people fart. We both know people poop. I'm gonna do it, and you can do it too.
But you can know that, but you don't like gotta do it in his face though. You know what I mean? Like, hey, everybody knows
That's
that
how you
you
get
can fart and get a load of this.
No, I mean I'm not like crass about it most of the time, but I am a poop with the door open person. I'm a like I'll empty my period cup in front of you if we're talking and like we have to be
What the fuck is a
talking.
period cup?
yeah, you don't want to go there. Just move right on from that one.
They're better than tampons. Trust me. Anyway, I'm just very open about it. I'm not like in your face about it, but I'm like, this is a part. Like, it's not like, oh, I'm a girl. I'm gonna hide my period. Like, fuck no. I just say, aren't you happy you don't have to deal with this shit in your body?
I'd be like, yeah, but keep it over there. Why do I need to see that shit?
Wait, but if I'm not inviting him into the bathroom to watch it, but if we're having a conversation and I'm like, oh,
And
hey,
I will
like,
stand with my back against the wall next to the door and talk to you around the corner because
here's my rule, man. Here's my rule. My rule is do what you got to do, man. But you don't got to be like all like dipshit about it. Like I'm just gonna, hey, get a little of this. Like what the fuck? Are we like 12?
I'll be like, oh my god, did you hear that? And then he's like, what? And then I'll fart.
but
I
I'm not
think
going
it's
to Dutch
funny.
oven my wife either. So
Oh,
like,
I would totally do that. I would.
Oh, you would do what with your wife?
Dutch oven my wife.
Oh my god, the Dutch oven thing.
How is that not funny?
I've been
No,
Dutch
it's
oven
not
done in Dutch
funny.
movies.
It's you don't think well, okay, but what if you were okay? What if the other person also thought it was funny?
Well, like
I
if
mean,
it's
it is funny. There's not a word where it's not funny. The question is whether or not it's gross. And yeah, it's gross. I guess it doesn't matter.
Sure,
It
but
really honestly doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. But like, I don't want you just like, hey, get a little of this. I'm like all in your face.
oh,
Lady, I'll put you over my knee right now.
maybe I'm just weird that my wife and I don't have that relationship.
no, I don't
Oh.
think it's weird. There are a lot of people who are like that, and for me, I'm like I remember my mom and dad they met on a blind date. They had mutual friends who set them up, and they had spaghetti that night. Like one of the friends made spaghetti, and anyway, but they were up until like 3 or 4 in the morning talking and connecting, and both of them were holding in like massive farts the whole night and didn't want to fart in front of each other. Of course, it's like first date and you don't really even know each other, but you know how sometimes when you hold a fart in, like it makes sounds.
I can tell you this, that if
Wait,
there was
I
a
gotta
lady-
finish.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'll let you finish, and then I'm going to tell you my retort.
Okay, it was like making the sounds, and then they were both like, "Oh, I guess I'm still hungry. Oh, it's my stomach."
No,
And it was obviously like it was happening to both of them.
Yeah.
So like I think after having that, like they're both very open about like farting and pooping and all of that stuff. That's just a funny story that I remember from my parents.
That they had internal farts.
Holding it in. Yeah, holding it in and not wanting to, be nasty about it, I guess.
I can tell you with 100% certainty that if I was ever on a first date with a lady and she broke wind.
Okay, this is not first date. This is date like 6 or 7 where like this is a person like you want to date.
All right. I feel like 3 dates is like the cutoff. It can't happen within the first 3 dates.
If you're at a bar, no one's going to hear anyway.
Yeah, no, I agree. Like, I wouldn't just meet someone for the first time and then like rip one. Like, no, I wouldn't do that. If I had to, I would find a way to hide it. Can I please tell one other quick story?
Of course you can.
Fine.
So I was hooking up with this guy, and the night before, I ate at this Mexican restaurant.
Oh no.
God.
And I noticed that I thought it was weird. I clocked it. The chicken it was like a build your own burrito thing. I did that. And the chicken had bones in it. There were like bones you had to like scoop around. And I was just like, oh, some people like cook it on the bone for more flavor and blah, blah, blah. Well, so I'm sure you could imagine I got food poisoning.
Oh boy.
From this restaurant. But it was like the next night when I was it was the next morning. So that was early dinner. Then I went over to this guy's place for nighttime things.
And dessert.
And then and it was a studio apartment. This guy's place. So then I was like, I'm gonna go take a shower in the morning. So I go in. I turned to the shower. I knew I had to poop, so I turned the shower on so he couldn't hear it. And I sit down, and I think it's just gonna be like a regular, like fine, whatever. And it's like fucking explosive diarrhea in his like food poisoning shit diarrhea like all over the toilet. No. And I was like, like fucking horrified. Like he's gonna smell it, he's gonna hear, like he absolutely heard me take this dump. Like I was like, oh my god, I'm so embarrassed. And I came out like, oh, that was like such a nice shower. Are you ready to go to brunch?
And he's over here like, stay away from me, demon woman.
What the fuck, dude?
He didn't say anything. Like, I mean, maybe I was just oversensitive. Maybe he didn't hear it. I have no idea what he was doing when I was in there. But so we go out to brunch, and I don't want to fucking eat anything because like I feel like shit, and I'm like eating like these like waffles, like oh my god, that's such a great story, and like just like hating myself. And so without going into detail, well, I mean, I went into detail about that, but I had to work that day. And where I was working, there's like a very like lots of people sharing the same bathroom kind of situation, and like multiple people can be in the bathroom at the same time. So I had to plan very carefully that whole night. But anyway, the rest is whatever. But that was my embarrassing, like having food poisoning diarrhea at this guy's studio apartment.
You want to hear when I got accidentally Dutch ovened by my wife?
Yeah. I did not shart in anyone's face, thankfully.
So I have a habit, like when I'm in the bed with my wife, I'll use her ass as a pillow.
I mean, I get it, but go on.
I do.
Why not?
Like I'll just grip on her really tight. My face will be right there. But I was awakened one night by the stench. I was like, what in the fuck was that? It was like, oh my god. And I looked at her with like such like disgust.
Wait, she Dutch ovened you?
Yeah, she was asleep. And I was like looking, I was like, what the fuck, lady?
Unintentional is not the same.
It's true.
Oh, I was so mad at her, and I turned over. I gave her the show. I was like, fuck that. You sleep by yourself, wench.
That was your fault for putting your head there. Have you ever woken yourself up with a fart?
Myself, no.
Sometimes I'm like in a light sleep and I'm like, oh, that was loud.
The
Not
thing
with her fart, I don't think. I
But then
can't
with
remember.
what?
I mean, I've woken up because of other things, but not because of farts.
the thing that I absolutely detest the most is if I'm in a light sleep and I'm in a dream taking a phone call and I wake up and my hand is next to my face and my wife is like, "What the hell are you doing?" It's like, I was on a phone. She was like, "No, you were sleeping." And it's like, "Oh God, what was I saying?"
That's like such an 80s person problem.
I'll never,
It's
honestly.
like we have you know what I said? Like people have AirPods and speakerphone
Well,
now.
I
like,
mean,
they grow up with
but
them.
talking on the
I
phone.
never talk with my phone on my face. I always have either speakerphone or AirPods.
Yeah, me too.
It's not a judgment. It's just like I think it's because like we grew up
Advances in
with.
technology.
You're such a
Yeah,
Zoomer schnitzel.
I'm just gonna say I cannot get over the disgust or angst I felt for my wife in that moment. I was mad at her for like a week.
You disconnected yourself.
Ah, shit.
You switched your microphone to something else because you're coming in from another spot.
Another planet.
Well, that's not ideal. See if I can fix it real quick. Does this sound any better? It does not.
Nope.
What about now?
There we go.
That's great.
Okay, I don't know what I did. But I was mad at my wife. I'm still mad at her for that. Like, you fucking made me have to do
This
that
was
again.
10 years ago. Still mad at her.
For doing it like subconsciously. What?
Yeah, unconsciously.
No, I don't want to see that. I don't want to smell that shit.
Oh my God. No, but it's also great if you have a silent one and then you just watch your partner and wait until it hits them.
It was a silent one. I was like, what the fuck? Freaking demon ass motherfucker.
What crawled in your ass and died, woman?
Oh.
Jesus.
Motherfucker, do you speak it? Yeah.
Bitch is running wild, man.
Jesus. It was disgusting.
Do you think your shit don't stink?
I'm not saying it don't, but it's just the fact that it happened and I was conscious to experience it that angered me.
Sharing is not caring in this scenario.
I'm not saying I was rationally angry. I was irrationally angry.
Wait. You got to go back to Amy Lynn's first and second comments a little while back.
Oh, what is she? Oh,
Up a little bit. My cousin was on a first date.
is this
one more?
Oh, my cousin was on a first date with this girl and had a poop at her house after. He clogged the toilet. There was no plungers, like Dumb and Dumber.
Oh, no.
He didn't want to tell her, but he had dog poo bags in his pocket.
No. God.
Just imagining like a turd with bangs now.
What?
He didn't want to tell her, but he had dog poo bags in his pocket. What the fuck? So he literally used the dog poop bag to pick up the turd. And what else? To smoke, throw it in the garage.
Oh God, if it's summer and that thing is sitting there in the heat, oh, that garage is gonna smell atrocious.
See, now here's the double standard. See, if I were to do that with my wife and she was a remark on it, I'd be like, shut up, wench. It is what it is. And you're going to take another one. But when it happens to me, I get fucking offended.
So you're saying you're a little bitch.
Pretty much.
You're a little fart bitch.
I'm a little fart, but you can call me that. That's cool. I'll accept. But no, I was offended. I'm offended to this day that it happened. It's like I lay my head on your ass as a pillow and you do that. And subconsciously, what the fuck?
I remember my mom, when we would go grocery shopping, she had like rancid smelling farts like all the time. So I don't know. Don't need to get into why, but they were like, there was nothing like, oh, it was a fart and no one smelled it with her. Anyway, so we'd be at the store and it would be loud, like one of those ones. And then we'd be like, oh my God, Mom. And she'd be like, what? and she'd just walk away. She like cropped us like the next person to come through and pretend like nothing happened. Anyway, thanks for talking about poop and fart.
My eyes are watering from
Schnitzel,
this
this is
conversation.
your topic.
I know.
Missy says I need some whiskey, honey, and lemon. I don't need any more whiskey. I feel like that's what's making it like all raspy and stuff.
You need a hot toddy.
The fuck is that? Oh, I know what it is, but you're right, I do.
Yeah, that's like that plus tea.
Yeah, no, I had well, I have a bunch of stuff.
What about that Fisherman's Delight?
Anyway, should we get into this last one so we could wrap this shit up?
Let's get into it.
This is about a porn addiction. I told Brad about this one. He was all in.
Perfect. He should be the perfect person to answer this question.
Damn, what the hell?
What does that mean?
Just kidding.
Shots fired for no reason.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
it was
catching
a
strays
Dutch
over
For
here.
humor.
That was a flat Dutch oven. Hey, Brad, come here, bitch. How about a little porn addiction? We're all over this one.
Are you even allowed to talk about this stuff anymore?
Who, me or Brad?
God. I'm, just
I talk about what I want.
I'm trying to continue the joke.
We'll get into it when we get into it.
Brad needs all the prayers that he can muster from Bruce. This is what Bruce was talking about.
Someone sent Bruce back in.
Oh, fucking schnitzel.
I am sorry, and you're welcome.
Oh, and have a nice day, bitch.
Does he look like a bitch?
Apparently, I'm the bitch tonight. Damn.
You know what? I don't have to answer to you. You ain't my bitch.
All right, man. Okay. Okay. Could I breathe? I could
I
breathe.
don't know. Can you?
Oh.
Oh,
All
Jesus
right.
Christ.
I'll read this one and save your voice.
There
I
it
told
is.
him.
Oh,
Volunteering.
you do not have to do.
Volunteering.
You know what? Fuck it. Do it. We're gonna clip this one up. Go for it, Brad. Let's do it.
I told him a few weeks ago I wanted a file, and tomorrow I start the process with an attorney for eviction, so annulment. My husband and I married last June after 5 years of dating. Turns out my husband lied to me over the course of our entire relationship, the extent of his addiction. I knew he used porn at times, but I never knew how severe, and he never admitted it. I remember talking to him during engagement and about not using it in marriage, and even during our marriage prep, there was talk about porn. He never brought it up. This past December was the first day where he told me he compulsively watched porn 5 days in a row. A month or so later, after the first D-Day, he admitted to lying to me every time I asked him if he'd watched porn, and he told
Hey,
me,
Brad. Could I ask you a question?
Sure.
This is strictly for the show. What is your porn of choice?
Oh my God.
none at the moment.
That was a trap question. I'm sorry.
I'm sure it was.
Should I ask you the same question, Schnitzel? What do you think? What's your porn of choice?
I don't really have a porn of choice.
You have a porn of flavor of the day?
If I ever watch it, I guess it would be whatever mood I'm in. But it wouldn't. I'm never into anything crazy.
Like
Her sex life is crazy enough. She wants the most basic stuff.
Exactly.
Exactly.
I'm posting all those videos, guys.
Subscribe to Only Lemons.
Oh, my daughter gets so offended when I say that she smells like a lemon. I was writing a birthday card the other day. She's like, Dad, what does it say in that card? I said that Evelyn smells like lemon. It's like, no, it doesn't. Yes, it does. It does not, Dad. No, you smell like a lemon. I do not. And this is the whole thing. I'm so offended.
God.
But I told her, you wish you smelled like a lemon, you little shit. I didn't call it.
It's better than the cucumber melon that every woman smelled like back in the early 2000s.
I hated cucumber melon. I hated it with a passion.
Oh, cucumber. Is that like the sniffer smell?
I liked
No, it was a
coconut
Bath and Body
lime.
Works. lemon
Coconut
or
lime was
smell.
the good one.
Coconut lime,
That's the Bath and Body Works one that I used.
passion mango.
I had an ex who was obsessed with like Victoria's Secret scents, so he bought me like all the scents and would always want me to wear those. He's such a
Michaela says
stud.
I hate it too. She don't like the scents. The Victoria's, I don't know, man. I'm not big into artificial scents.
Mm-mm.
But
don't
I'm
wear-
also not into Dutch ovens either. So
Not natural scents or artificial scents. I don't wear perfume. I'll use like essential oils if I'm going to use anything to like add to my scent.
aroma.
Natural musk.
Ew.
Pheromones.
And I have like a deodorant that has essential oils in it. It's like frankincense and something else.
Frankincense and myrrh.
He's not the Holy Son, Jesus.
I'm the Antichrist.
I don't wear cologne either. I go with my natural scents, my natural oils, my natural pheromones.
Is it like you're like an Italian who doesn't only bathe once a week, or is it like just your daily natural scent?
No. There's a thing that happens with your body oils. If you put on artificial scents all the time, you inhibit your body's ability to correct itself.
Yeah,
And so if you stop doing that shit, your body will be cool.
that's right. But
And
you,
you won't
you
have-
bathe every day.
Yeah, you can bathe every day. It's just not like it's not like frying your body oils with like these weird ass scents, deodorant.
Sure. Like
or whatever
everything
the
I have is natural. It's like natural, like shampoo, natural body
Yeah,
wash.
yeah.
I will say, I don't mean it towards all Italians, but when I was in Italy, so long time ago, it was my first day there. I arrived at like 3 a.m. I got so little sleep, and I'm out like, it's like summertime, just like enjoying the day, the beauty. And this guy walked by me. He was like,
And you got a whiff.
I got it was like he took a bath in BO.
Oh, that's the
And
word.
I was like,
Yeah, disgusting.
so strong. So anyway,
I'm very sensitive to body odors. I can tell you that my worst sexual experiences have all involved odors of some kind. I can't do it, man. If I smell something, fuck that. I'm like, no. We're cutting this short.
that's why you're so
That
offended
yeast
by
is fermenting something unnatural.
Oh, I'm very sensitive to smells. That's why I got all of these diffusers that make my place smell lovely.
Well, I have a question then, because like
Yeah.
during a woman's cycle, aside from the obvious,
Yeah.
like okay, aside from that, but the scent can change depending on like ovulation versus not.
Mhm.
So are you that sensitive
tell.
to scent?
Yeah. Yes, I
Yeah?
can.
Wow.
There's more iron in the scent
As it's getting
for
closer.
non-ovulation.
Hmm.
For example, it's not very scientific, but when you're doing relations on cycle, there is a distinct sense of iron in the air. Obviously,
On cycle, obviously.
I heard the weirdest analogy to what a woman smells like, and it said a woman in her best smells like the exhaust coming out of the back of a PlayStation 2. I was
No.
like, wait, what?
here's my rule. Here's my rule. I don't ever want to know that you just defecated that day.
Well, yeah,
Ever. Once I smell that,
it's
yo,
done.
I'm checking out, dude. I can't.
I'm very like paranoid about smelling anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
So I try to make sure I don't.
One of the suggested topics for Flad was worst sexual experiences. All of my worst sexual experiences involve odors. They're just I don't know. I don't know if I'm overly sensitive.
I feel like I have a super sensitive sense of smell, and it got even more intense after I had my son.
Mm-hmm.
To the point, I'll even say like my husband, he has his tonsils, but he has
Where are
some
we going with
tonsil-
this?
he
What
has
do you do that
tonsil
using the smell
stones.
of tonsils?
No, he has some tonsil stones, which can give you halitosis.
Oh yeah.
And probably no one else.
Donald Trump had
noticed it.
tonsil stones.
Who did?
Donald Trump.
Oh, Donald. Ew. Fuck,
Gross.
Gross. But anyway, so like he's getting a tonsillectomy because I was like, I am so sorry. It's not like if I could help it, I would, but I can smell it and I need it to not be there because it inhibits
Go
me
away.
from wanting to do things.
Bro, I'm with you on that. Because if I smell that shit, I can't, dude. It's like instant woo
It's
all the way.
It's interesting because I feel like it's usually women with like a really sensitive sense of smell.
I will push back on that. My
At
whole
least in
life,
my experience.
I'm like a dog. I'm like, if I can smell something, if I get a hint of anything, I'm all the way out, dude. I'm talking about I will like shrink, like I will go inverted penis.
So
It's like,
what's the difference?
Sex is over. What do you mean? What's the difference? Between an inverted penis and inverted penis?
Between that and your normal penis.
Well, just imagine like diving board erect to immediately retracting, dome. The Houston Astrodome used to have a retracting. The Seattle, never mind.
This is turtle. The sequestered turtle.
We are way.
I know. Probably also, again, my fault. Hi.
I'm not even sure if inverted penis is actually a thing, but if it could be a thing, if I catch a scent, it's going to be a thing.
I think anything that that could be inverted can be inverted.
I'm sure it can be, but that doesn't mean it
Is there
should
such
be.
thing as an inverted vagina? Because isn't a vagina, like by its nature, already inverted?
That's true.
So therefore, I've destroyed your premise.
Well, but it's already inverted.
I mean, you could,
but for the clitoris, I guess.
Prolapse, but then that's a whole nother problem.
Prolapse, isn't that the opposite of inverted? Isn't that like a prolapse?
Yeah.
Isn't that a prolapse?
But you don't call your manhood prolapsed, so.
Well, no, that wouldn't be like refer directly to like rectum stuff, right? You know.
Oh, your manhood prolapsed.
My manhood has never been. Well, I don't know.
That's a nice prolapse.
I've never heard of a penis referred to as a prolapse.
Yeah, I heard it here first, folks, on Vlad.
I would say that Brad is making me uncomfortable on today's. I need Bruce's prayers. I need the prayers, Bruce. Fuck Brad. Brad is doing just fine on his own.
What does chat think? Are they sticking with us, or are they like, what the fuck is going on right now?
Crow's like, what the fuck, dude?
Okay, Brad.
Let us finish this. My voice better. Yeah, do it, Brad.
All right.
I'm not going to ask you porn questions anymore.
Which led me to ask him about.
Are you into bestiality?
Oh my god!
I'm totally kidding. Continue, Brad. I know that.
Led me to asking him about people we knew. He admitted he masturbated countless times to photos of my best friends and my little sister.
Ew.
What?
He said last time he masturbated my little sister was maybe before our wedding.
What?
What?
Ultimately, what did it for me? I'm filing tomorrow, and this is the hardest thing I've ever had to do. I still love him, but cannot go back to him. I have gone no contact because we still need the text for moving things in divorce proceedings, but I'm scared. It's hard for me not to blame myself and maybe been more suspicious of his porn usage, but I didn't think I'd have to be Sherlock Holmes about it and shouldn't have had to. I know people can find love again. I'm just not sure I will ever trust a man again. How long it'll be to get over him, because soon I will go no contact. Any advice?
Yes, I have advice. Why the fuck would he be admitting to like masturbating to her little sister?
I mean, I'm glad he did.
But that kind of tells me that he's a dick. That's
Or he's
the
like
kind of thing
super
that,
like mentally like unhealthy.
that tells me that I don't honestly. Here's what I think. I don't think that he ever did. I think he just told her that to make her uncomfortable,
That's
to make her insecure.
that's
If you're
a
looking for honest opinion,
stretch.
Well,
that's what I would.
he's still mentally ill if he did that.
Well, mentally, for sure, he's not obviously a good marriage candidate. There's other stuff going on other than porn addiction. People go watch porn and it will be fine, you know? But like for him to admit that he's like jerking off to her little sister and her best friends, that has nothing to do with porn addiction. That has everything to do with he's trying to manipulate her to be insecure. That's my hot take. What do you think about that, Brad?
I don't think so.
Brad was like,
Because
no, I kind of jerk off to little sister. Brad.
whoa.
Say, hey, man. No,
Yeah.
Brad would never. Brad would never. I'm just saying that's a hell of a thing to say to your partner. And I feel like if he said something like that, he did it intentionally.
But also, like, did she sit him down and say, okay, have you thought of this? Have you thought of my best friend? Have you thought of my sister?
The only answer to that is what, Brad?
It doesn't matter.
No, I didn't. What are you talking about?
Well,
Ew, gross.
But the problem is that guys being guys, like you think a lot of things, but that doesn't mean that just because you thought it means that you instantly want to do it. And like, because this topic goes really deep into areas whether we want to go there or not. But
Well, let's go there. It's flat. Why the fuck not? It's Friday night. It's 8 o'clock. Well, it's 11
it's
o'clock. for
11
YouTube.
o'clock.
You all are sufficiently lubricated with your Bush Light. Bush Light, what a name.
It's
But like,
I'll tell you my honest opinion about this. I can't wait to give mine.
well,
give it.
you might as well go for it.
Yeah. I'll tell you what. Look, you could think a lot of things in life. You could have a lot of thoughts. But to make them public for your spouse on purpose is sinister. There's no way you're doing that without having some kind of nefarious objective. And I feel like the only reason that he said that is to make her insecure and to gain the upper hand psychologically. And I'm saying that knowing that I've been a man for 44 years, and there is no good reason why you would ever admit that to your spouse. Like, Brad, you said you have many thoughts, but I'm willing to guess that you would never, ever admit like your deepest, darkest, weirdest ass, like random ass sexual fantasies. Because number one, they would never come to light. You would never pursue them, and they're weird as fuck.
Yeah.
There's a difference between fantasy and, actual things that you would pursue. And to admit to your wife that you had conjured up sexual fantasies about her sister is a bridge too far. And it crosses into this area of maliciousness that is unnecessary.
Okay. So let me play devil's advocate on this one and say your wife has a model sister, and you wouldn't spanking it to this model unknowingly for years.
What do you mean unknowingly? Since when do you ever spank anything unknowingly?
Well, no, you to the model
before you were with your wife and knew it was her
that
sister.
you were with
Oh,
her
okay.
sister.
Okay. Like my wife's sister would have been like that one lady from Beautiful Mind, Jennifer Connelly.
Yeah, sure. So, and then you before the marriage, you give it one for old time's sake,
Like just for fun.
but you're not doing it to gain psychological advantage over your wife. It's indulging in the fantasy that is not going to be there.
Under that context, she would never know about it then, would she?
Well, in theory, unless your wife starts probing you and asking which friends have you thought
Even
about.
if she pros, it's like, hey, does my ass look big? Do I look fat in this dress? Fucking yes. You would never say that. It would be like, no, you look great. Just put on something.
I'd want my husband to tell me the truth, but he doesn't have to be an asshole about it. He doesn't have to say, yeah, you look like a fat fuck. He could be like, yeah. if you're asking objectively, it looks kind of big in that. And
But
I'd
to
be
be
like,
honest with
Pregnant
you,
"Thanks for
cow,
letting me know."
woman. Like, come on, jeez.
but Schnitzel, let me give you the secret. Men don't think like that. It doesn't matter what the fuck you wear. Men know what you look like. If it's your husband, he knows what you look like naked. It really matters not what you wear. So he's going to tell you what you want to hear. Like he's not going to say,
No,
"Oh yeah,
no,
I think that you're."
I tell him like I tell him like from my perspective, like you know how I would want to see myself. You know how I would want to look in an outfit. Does my ass look big? And he knows I won't take offense to it.
If he said yes or no, would it make a difference?
If he said yes, I'd find a different outfit. If he said no, I'd consider a different outfit.
So then he's going to say no, so y'all can get out of there faster.
No.
If that's the only variable, then no, it looks great. So we could go. Let's go.
I'll be like, no, but are you telling? No, I don't think you're telling me the truth.
No, I'm telling you the truth. I swear to God, your ass looks great. Let's go.
No, but he lets me take my time, which is nice.
I don't want to wait another half hour. We said we needed to go 45 minutes ago.
The
You
thing
look
is,
great in the red dress.
my husband is early, and so we balance.
I feel sorry for him.
other out. Not in all ways. Anyway, yeah, we balance each other out very well in many ways.
Amy Lynn says it's like period sex. Some things aren't worth the trouble. You know? Why the fuck would we be honest? Oh yeah, you totally look fat and like let's just wait another 30 minutes for you to change your dress. Fuck all that.
Why does changing a dress take 30 minutes in this
I
scenario?
don't know how long it takes. I just feel like that's how long it would
It
take.
takes like 5 minutes.
Because maybe you put your makeup on to match the shade of dress you're on, and now you got to redo the whole thing because now it's going to look funny.
Well, that's true, but that's true.
All right, there we go.
She's going to be questioning her husband. No, man. Okay, look, if your husband married you already, he already bought the farm. He doesn't give a fuck what you look like.
Yeah, but he bought the farm when it was like 30 pounds less.
But he also signed up with the idea that there's depreciating assets, man. Like, look, you married her at 105, and by the time she hits a certain age, she's going to be 125, and you're just going to have to make an informed decision. And it's okay, and it's cool to gain like an extra 20 pounds. It probably looks good on you. It's not healthy to be.
Mine was 30.
Well, my wife has put on about 30 pounds since we got married.
No comment.
Yeah. I don't have a problem telling her that. She thinks, oh, I don't need to get on. Yeah, I'll pick her up. I know you weigh like 138.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll have it down to like a pound.
It's so hard though, like because I have some friends who are like fucking stick thin just the way they were before they had a baby.
Look,
but it's their natural. It's what happened naturally. Like they weren't dieting and exercising like crazy to get back that way. It's just what their bodies did.
Schnitzel,
what?
Brad, I'm going to need you to co-sign on this.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to need you to co-sign. Look, them stick thin people are for single folks. If your husband married you and you put on a good 20, 30 pounds, that was expected. We've already calculated that into the calculation. And so you're well within like the green phase. Like you're in the green. You're good. I expected that you were going to gain like 30, 40 pounds. What the fuck?
What are you talking about? Just because you're married, or like I was pregnant before we were married.
I'll tell you what. If I was a single man and I was looking at all the single ladies, then maybe I might be looking at them stick figure ladies. Maybe, but probably not because I'm older now and I don't give a shit about that. I prefer women with meat on their bones. It just happens with age. You prefer different things at different ages. When I was 20, maybe I would have been perusing for those 105 pounders, but that's just not a reality for a 44-year-old man. Or maybe it is, or it can be. It's just not a preference, I guess is what I'm saying. If you gain 30 pounds and you're healthily putting on the weight and distributing it places, men appreciate that shit. We want you to be healthy. I don't want you to be like in a survival mode. You weigh 105 pounds, so you're going to be the first to die. No, man, pad yourself up. Get yourself good and healthy. We're going to need you around for a while.
Because when I need someone to trip in the zombie apocalypse, you're going to be right next to me.
And I'm going to survive for months off your body.
Like if it's an alive situation, you weigh 105 pounds. What good is that, man? We need to pump you up a little bit.
Like some of my friends just are naturally thin.
Sure.
And so when you go through that, like I'm still breastfeeding sometimes. So like my hormones aren't even like, I guess if you could say normal, they're not at the normal level. But it's hard when you see people like that. Like I was 108 pounds before I
Mhm.
got pregnant. And like that, and a size 0. And
Yeah.
so imagine, like I have clothes in the attic that I'm like, I know I'm never gonna fit into those again. Like it's
I
just
imagine you're
like
probably a size 4 or 5 now,
yeah,
and it's okay.
it's not gonna be possible.
Yeah.
But seeing other people who are naturally, it's just their natural body, and my natural body is like just not what it was before. But it's hard sometimes to see that and know that that's not your natural, you know?
Comparison is the thief of joy. Enjoy your healthy self. Enjoy your healthy weights, and know that your husband's not checking on those 105-pound waifs. He's just not. He ain't.
Waifs.
I promise. My wife used to weigh like 115, 119. She weighs like 145 pounds now. I don't notice a difference. I don't give a shit.
Mhm.
It's just how it is. It's a natural, it's the natural consequence of getting older and having children.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful thing that you're willing to sacrifice your body for the sake of raising a child together and being married to this one guy. It is a badge of honor. If a man is criticizing your weight, and I sincerely doubt that that's the case, unless he's fucking gay.
No,
I'm
he
going to say.
never says anything about it. Never.
Exactly, which is my point. He doesn't give a shit. He appreciates what you've become because y'all are raising a family together, and the fact that you've gained weight since you guys met, those are battle scars. Wear them proudly.
But I want to feel better about how I look.
That's cool. And so you could get down to 105. Just know that your husband's going to love you whether or not you're 125 or 105.
But I care more about my love.
Hell yeah. So get down to 105 then.
Well, I don't want to get that skinny.
Well, 110?
I want to feel comfortable. I want to feel
do the
confident
work
when I
and you'll
see
get
myself.
it.
No, well, that's the thing. Like you can diet and you can exercise, but if your hormones are just like they can just be like, no, like you're not losing weight. And that's like been my problem.
Yeah.
Where I'm vegan and I eat pretty healthily. I drink sometimes, but and like I walk. I don't have time so much to go to the gym, but I am active. And I what for one point was doing exercise videos like in our basement. But I wasn't losing any weight. And it was because of my hormones. And like anyway, I don't even know how we got on this shit.
I don't
but-
fucking know. We're talking about porn addiction. Brad's porn addiction to what the fuck was porn? I don't know. Okay, so this guy says I'll finish this. She's worried about his porn addiction. Led me to ask.
She's not worried. She's mortified to her core about his porn addiction. Like,
Ladies, look, listen. There's not a man alive that hasn't perused Pornhub or whatever else she's talking about. Sites, social media, whatever. OnlyFans. Men are men, and they were men before you, and so there's a good chance, like a 99% chance, that they have porn preferences. Fucking get over it. Now, I know she's talking about something else. Let's see what she's talking about. Which led me to asking him about people we knew. He admitted he masturbated countless times to photo. Oh, that's what he was talking about.
I read all of that. Yeah.
Yeah. And my response to that was malicious in nature. I think he did that on purpose to make her insecure, which makes him a cunt. She says this is ultimately what did it for me. I'm filing tomorrow. Hey, Brad, could you finish this shit so I could get my voice straight?
I read it all already.
Oh, you did? You got to the bottom. Oh,
Yeah.
she didn't want to be Sherlock Holmes about it. Okay. Well, look, this guy's a fucking asshole. Fuck that guy.
So your feeling is that he did it maliciously. Like he wasn't just trying to be like really honest with his wife. He did it
there was no
maliciously.
scenario if you love your wife that you would tell her that you were jerking off to her sister.
Mhm.
If that was even a thing.
Yeah.
And I feel like if you really loved her, like that wouldn't have even been a consideration. But in Brad's model, it's like, oh, she was a model that you didn't know that you were gonna like be sister-in-laws with. Okay, that's like an extreme example of whatever. But to the extent that it's an issue of whether or not he's disclosing those facts, that's malicious in nature. He did it on purpose, and he did it to get a psychological advantage that was nefarious in nature, and he's a fucking asshole. Fuck that guy. And that's my final ruling on that.
I like it.
Alrighty then.
I'm with you.
All right. Is there anything that we're missing before my voice goes completely? What the fuck with my voice, man? This is bullshit.
Yeah.
Were you talking a lot today?
Oh, I've been talking all day.
You got to watch your posture.
Well,
I feel like I got good posture. What the fuck?
How long was your Gabby video? It seemed like it was like 2 or 3 hours.
Couple hours. I've been talking now for 5 hours straight. So.
If you're not supporting your sound properly, you're gonna go hoarse. I'll send you some materials afterwards.
I'm gonna need some materials for sure because my sound.
Not those kind of materials.
No, not those materials. What the fuck?
Oh, oh my!
I just need my voice sucks right now, and I've been talking all day long, podcasting for 5 hours and yelling at attorneys for like 3 hours before that. I've had a day, man. Fuck today. Today sucks.
Today does. I had a great day, but also fuck today.
Did you get a Tesla?
Did not get a Tesla. No, I would never. My in-laws have a Tesla, and they're like, "We're thinking about, do you guys want to have it?" I'm like, "Fuck no! I would not even take a free Tesla."
If a guy gets a Tesla, do you think that makes him gay?
No.
All right.
My wife wanted a Tesla, so she got one.
My wife wanted a hybrid. She wanted a Tesla, but she ended up getting a fucking Lexus.
Oh, nice.
The Lexus equivalent or whatever it was. On a lease. I'm not in favor of these leases.
Leases are the way to go.
If you don't drive anywhere, I guess.
Yeah. We don't drive so much. We have like under 10,000 a year.
I'm like 40,000 miles a year.
Okay.
No,
yes,
thank you.
Hey, folks, before my voice goes completely, Brad, I didn't mean to insinuate that you had a weird porn addiction. I love you all. Schnitzel, you've been great. Thank you so much for introducing us to the farting and the pooping.
My pleasure.
That was interesting. It led to... I'm still mad at her about that. Fuck that.
Let it go.
You're not supposed to let that shit go. You know where my head is at night.
Maybe you should move it.
Oh, man.
Never do that again.
Oh, my God.
Oh, I'm totally kidding.
Maybe she should get you like a butt-shaped pillow. Like get a cast of her ass. Turn it into a pillow, like a custom pillow on Etsy.
It's just how it is. I happen
to be the same.
It makes me feel comfortable laying on her ass. It's just the way he goes. Don't ever oven me. What the fuck? That was bullshit.
I've never had anyone sleep on my ass.
Well.
Well, you were 105 pounds. Obviously, there's nothing there.
108, and I have a...
That's fucked up, Brad.
I won't say anymore.
What the fuck, dude?
It's the number one asset I get complimented on.
Yeah, stop talking shit like that, Brad. That's fucked up.
You're telling me I'm like in bestiality and I make one butt joke. It's like, good God.
I did insinuate that Brad likes bestiality.
Brad, you're into that kinky bondage shit, right? Yeah, you don't like that vanilla shit. You like to go hardcore. You want to be in that dungeon stuff. It's like, God damn, man. Like, what do you think of me?
Hey, Brad, are you a brony?
A brownie? Oh God, what's a brownie?
No, brony.
The My Little Pony chads.
Oh,
they're into My Little Pony and they want to fuck the ponies.
The fact that I know that there was a brony convention in Baltimore is even more terrifying.
What? I've never heard of a brony before.
Yeah.
It was a 2000s thing.
No, it was a mid-2010s thing because the new My Little Pony show got a huge following from older people for God only knows what reason. And then you had this entire subculture of men liking My Little Pony to the point where they were doing what essentially amounted to furry costumes and whatnot and calling themselves bronies.
That's what that was.
They need a therapist and medication.
They need a lot of things. I don't know what they need, but what they don't need is well, I don't know what they don't need.
Did I tell you? Okay, real quick before we go. And Lauren really should be here for this conversation. And Bruce.
I invited her. She never comes when I invited her, Flad.
What the fuck, Lauren?
I got to change my time slot because I think she does family shit on Friday afternoon.
Lame. Just kidding. Anyway, I had a friend who got married after less than a year of knowing this person, but they were in the same field. So there was some kind of like mutual understanding there. Anyway, they had a kid unexpectedly together, maybe a year or two into the marriage. Just so you know their situation. So then she found out that he identified as a furry.
Oh God.
Oh shit.
For real. Like had a costume, a full-on costume he had been hiding from her the entire relationship. And
those things are huge. How do you hide that?
I don't know.
So here's my question then. What if your husband identified as a furry, he just came out with it and like showed you his costume and stuff? Would you support him in his sexual endeavors?
I don't think I could even just answer that right now. I think it's so complicated. Well, so this girl was very much like, no, that's not happening. And I need you to stop that if this marriage is going to work. And he said, this is so important to me. I have never been able to like just fully be myself. And this is what I need to have in my life. This is who I am. And she was like, well, actually he said, then we're done, because if you can't accept that, I can't be with you anymore. But she wanted to go through like therapy and counseling, but it was more so to like change him. And he was like, I don't need to be changed. This is who I am. So I'm more friends with her, but I'm friends with both of them. So it's been interesting to see the different sides and the parenting. So obviously they're parenting separately. He spends the son spends more time with the mom than with the dad. But she can't really have any say over if the kid is exposed to this, not the lifestyle per se, but so he, like, the kid will wear the headpiece sometimes. He's what's it called? A Giru.
Oh, fuck is a Giru?
He said it's called a Geroo.
Groo.
Geroo. It's what? But that and his name is Chester.
Oh my God.
Anyway,
I gotta share this.
What?
This is a Giru.
Yes.
What the fuck is? Oh. See, the thing is
I don't know, man. People are into weird things. What are you gonna do?
And if you want to bring up my share for Schnitzel.
Oh yeah, I was wondering what that was. Anyway, so they got divorced, but he's exposing the kid to, oh man.
What if you got a picture like that of your husband?
Can I please edit that with Brad's face on it?
God, no.
Hold on, wait, bring it back up.
That should be a future thumbnail.
If you want it, I'll send you the photo.
On it.
Okay, yeah, because I was screenshotting it right now.
I'm sure you were.
So I just think it's really interesting how they are managing this. I mean, she's very opposed to him showing and exposing their kid to this world and this stuff, but he's very excited to show his child like this side of himself.
Yeah. I think that I don't even know what to tell her. You guys got some weird sexual kinks. Either accept them or don't.
That's the weird thing is furryism is very tied to sexual behavior, which makes Amy. No, I did not know what it was, but it's so hard for it to be separated from it.
Brad did not know what it was, Amy. He Googled that shit, same as I.
I tried to Google it and couldn't find it. Omar found it like it was bookmarked or something.
Just fucking spelled it out. I don't know.
Oh,
My Google
man.
search was literally this G-Roo. You can see it. I shared the fucking page.
Mhm.
Here's a
It's like a dog kangaroo kind of thing.
yeah. How do I do this again? Look, I spelled it Geroo.
Yep.
Fucking G-Roo. How else do you spell it? I don't know. It's
I don't
a
But they have an entire story. Like if you go, I don't know if you can find a page for G, like it talks about like what planet they're from and like how they
planet G-Tech, now destroyed, and are now in a diaspora with populations on Leo's home planets and working on Kraken slave ships.
That's sounds like a video game more than a.
It's a fictional haven celestial universe.
Yeah, kangaroo like aliens with some canine features, like a kangaroo dog
with appendages.
When he first told me about this, I Googled it and I was like, wow.
Hey.
Okay.
So this was her husband. Mm-hmm.
Well, they're divorced now.
Oh, well, then he's free to G-Roo all he wants.
He does.
And he does.
He does. He goes to all the conventions and stuff.
Oh, my God. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like that's a striking thing to learn about your husband.
Yeah.
I imagine it would cause a change in feelings.
Well, hers was like, her perspective was like, you need a therapist, you need medication, like we're going to work through this kind of thing. And he was like, no, this is who I am. Like, you're not going to change me. We're going to get divorced then.
Well, fucking, shit. I feel like if there's something like that's that like diabolic in your personal history that you haven't disclosed to a person you're married to, that's fucked up. If you got shit in like that, you should disclose those things,
Absolutely.
And if you don't, then if they want to get divorced because what the fuck was that, then it's kind of your fault for not disclosing it.
Yep.
Don't be afraid of who you are, man. Come out the closet. If you're gay, if you're bi, if you're a G-Roo, if you're a freaking furry, if you're a brony, whatever it is, whatever your weird kink is, man, you got to disclose that shit. Otherwise, expect to be left when your unsuspecting partner stumbles across your kinks.
Yeah. But he left her.
Well, good on him, I guess.
He was like, I'm not changing. This is who I am. Like,
all your dreams, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. I'd probably also get divorced. Like, what else?
Yeah. What are we doing here, man? You want to bang kangaroos? Was that what we're doing?
And it's funny, like I've never talked with the sexual with him about the sexual aspect of it. I've never. I don't think I want to know, so I've never asked about it or brought it up.
Attracted to kangaroos,
but the weird thing is that it's there, and that's what makes it even weirder.
Yeah, but then my mind is like, oh, but he's not into that. You know what I mean? Like.
Schnitzel.
The question is
I know.
Would you love me if I was a worm? And the answer to that question is no. You'd be a fucking worm. I'd probably like stomp on your worm ass body.
I would put you on a hook and fish.
I'm being vegan. I would put you in a little aquarium and get you food and the light that you need all day and your water and your dirt, all the stuff.
See, but then it's all about smiles and cries.
What?
You got to protect your smiles and your cries because it's all you have in the hood, in the ghetto.
What?
Training Day. It's a movie. You're gonna have to watch it yourself.
Who's in it?
Denzel. It's got Ethan Hawke.
Oh, I love Denzel.
You gotta protect your smiles and your cries. Let me get the transcript because I can't play it. Smiles and cries transcript. He says he's like telling a story, and they're like, "Tell me about your smiles and your cries." And this is what he says. He says, I already figured the streets out. He says, "Oh, really? You already figured the streets out?" He says, "It's all about smiles and cries." Put the drink down, man. You motherfuckers out of his mind. Hold on, Alonzo, hold on. Smiles and cries. I hear you. Yeah, you got to control your smiles and cries because that's all you have, and nobody can take that away from you. That's
You're
what
still
he's saying.
sharing G-Roos.
This is as he's getting
You're on G-Brew Planet.
by a fucking G-Roo. Getting double teamed, one in the mouth and one in the anus.
Oh my god.
No.
One of them, you gotta rhyme it. Double team, one in the mouth and one in the peen.
Double teeth in the peen. Double teamed in the peen.
No, say
You know what I
teen.
mean?
Don't say teen and peen.
And you said I'm the degenerate.
Oh my god. Read Amy Lynn's penultimate comment, please.
Okay.
No,
Who
now
wanted-
anti-penultimate.
Pennywood?
No,
No, Amy
Amy
Lynn.
Lynn.
Oh,
Three
Amy
back.
Lynn.
There you
Says
go.
my friend was married to this guy for 20 years. She found out he liked to wear women's bras and undies by him getting caught going through her sister's and mother's dressers and stealing bras. What the fuck, dude? That's degenerate criminal behavior that cannot be defended.
Oh, and then look at P. Mahone's last comment.
Amy Lynn, my best friend, caught her husband trying on their wedding night. And so what if you saw your husband like just trying on your underwear and like jerking off into him and like,
Why are you wearing granny panties?
Oof.
oh, he's wearing your period undies.
No, he's wearing my I
Your
don't
food poisoning undies.
wear thongs anymore undies. I wear what's comfortable, stylish yet comfortable.
Yeah, that's what all moms do. That's how you graduate. You graduate with that shit. You graduate to granny panties. That's just how it is. We're getting older.
It's not full on granny panties. They're like
You don't gotta defend your granny panties to me.
I'm just saying, they're like mid between a thong and
They've got a
granny
lace edge, so they're at least a little bit better.
Wear what you
Lace.
want. Wear what's comfortable.
Yeah, exactly. And what's not going to slide down halfway down my ass when I bend over?
Or be like brazing your asshole because it's like one of these string thongs or whatever.
Oh my god! Since having a kid, like I cannot wear a thong anymore. It's like it feels. I don't even know what it feels like. There's a fucking piece of fabric up my ass.
That is single ladies wear underwear. This is not practical. Why would you want a string up your ass? I've always wondered that.
I used to wear them all the time.
I
Because you
understand.
wear it because you know it's gonna be seen.
No, I was wearing it when I wasn't dating anyone and I wasn't going out on any dates. That was just like what I wore. Like since I bought my first one in 7th grade.
Oh my god.
And I'll tell you why I remember why. I was at this school event that was out of town with some other kids and a couple of other parents went as chaperones and went to like, I don't know, Macy's or something. And I was like, like I got some money from my parents. I'm going to go to the underwear section and pick something out without my parents here, because you never go shopping like without your mom.
Right.
Yeah.
So it was like this red and gold one with like 2 little like red ribbons on either side. So I buy it, and this guy who I had a huge crush on, and he was there. His dad was one of the chaperones, and he grabbed my bag and he's like, "Oh, let's see what you got."
Oh
And
no.
he pulled it out, and I was mortified in front of like all
Hey
of
everyone,
these
what
people
this girl's wearing.
and his dad, him and his dad.
That's fucked up.
So that's
Jesus
why I
Christ.
remember exactly when I got my first one.
Butt floss. Exactly.
Yeah. Yep.
All right, folks. I got to check out before I lose my voice completely. I don't know what the fuck with. Anyway, Schnitzel, Brad, thank you so much
You're
for sticking with me for 3 hours, man. You guys are G's. I love you guys.
It was fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, we broached on a lot of topics today. What the fuck did this show
Just
do?
get me 4 fingers deep in this bourbon and we'll have a great time.
Hey, so tell me about farting and pooping. What's up with that?
Puping and G-Roos. Oh my.
G-Roos and unicorns and bullshit. Butt floss.
Hey, Brad, send me that. Send
I
me
already
that.
did
Where?
in Discord.
Oh, okay. Oh yeah, there it is.
All right, everybody. I'm gonna close it now because my voice is almost all the way gone.
Yep.
I love you all. Have a good weekend.